Hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's happening, guys? Let me make sure our audio is kicking it here. Let's see what happens. Should have about a 10-second delay. Let's see what happens. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's happening, guys? All right, we are working. Right off the bat, Bo Bon, what's going on, man? Good to see you in there. Thank you very much for your support. He said, appreciate your channel very much. Thanks for the great videos. Well, thank you for being here and your support, right? Greatly appreciated. Let's see who else is in the house here. Everybody's jumping in there. My apologies, guys. We just had a long-distance call, and I was just like, oh, man, perfect timing, right? I'm like, this is not good. So I just said I'd call them back. No big deal, right? Mimi Reacts is in there. Renee. HDOS 1AV, I'm not even sure I've even pronounced that right because I'm just kind of like seeing letters, right? So if I'm wrong, just break it down for me in syllables and I'll straighten that out. Clerks 93, yo, 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 my friend, what's happening? Bush Corey's in there, what's going on, Corey? John Shop, hey, what's going on? Mr. Sensible, good evening. Good evening to you, Mr. Sensible. James Gragan, what's going on, man? You said hi, Chris, man, just checking in with you. Well, I appreciate it. Aliens, let's not have skulls. That refers to being dead, right? That's not good. But Drill Sergeant Dama, greetings, Earth beings. What's going on, Drill Sergeant? John Beck, what's going on? Awesome picture, by the way. Daryl Harad is in there. Hello, all. Mimi Reacts. Who's ready for Swamp Gas? Let's get that. Glenn Judd's in there. Happy Friday, you saying? Lancemus Blanco, what's going on? 30th one, I like that. Clerks 93, anyone see the movie Fire in the Sky? I have, yep. Corey is ready. Carossa 4123, hey Chris, hi all, happy Friday. Lancemus Blanco, yes, I saw it, he says. Maria Norderm, or Mayor, Nordermer, guess I'm butchering that, I'm sorry if I am. I don't mean to, we'll just use your first name Maria, I think you're the only Maria in here, I think. Renee, yeah, that's not good. Johnny Prod, what's going on, man? Good to see you in there. Maria, hello. She's saying hello all. James Cameron breaks out in a false rendition of David Bowie's Life on Mars. What's going on, Ken? Solar Minimum has started, or Dalton Minimum. Share what you know, Chris. Sweet. Let's see. Noodles, what's going on? Good to see you there, man. Renee Vaughn, or Van, is in there. Saying hello, folks. And Chris. Cruz, all good. I don't know if you were able to finish that. Good day, or whatever you're supposed to say there. Mags K's in there. Hello, Mags. Good to see you in there. Let's see. I don't hope I didn't miss anybody because as soon as I clicked on that, what the heck was it? Renee Cruz. You put on there the noodles and you put all the little emojis and stuff, and it went right up. So I don't want to miss anybody. Richard, what's happening? Good to see you in there, man. Hope the week has been good for you. It has. Busy, but good. And I was still able to get a couple videos out for you guys. Which reminds me, just remember Sunday. Well, you don't know this, so you can't remember it, but you remember it now. Sunday, there's another video coming out for you guys. And this one here just shows blatant again. More blatant, obfuscation, manipulation, and what things appear to be aren't quite what they are. So stay tuned for that. It should be coming out, it'll be probably mid-morning, so you guys will have something to watch there, right? Let's see. Oops, damn thing just jumped on me again. Let me go back here in case I've got somebody. Todd Burdett, what's going on? What's going on, neighbor? He said, hello to all from Charleston, WV, West Virginia. Pretty close neighbors there. There he is, Mr. High Performance 5.7 LS6 SS. What's up, my brother? What's up, everyone, he says. Mike Knapp, what's going on, man? Johnny Prod says, I think with all this COVID, we are having less pollution and the number of UFOs and anomalies in the skies grows up. We have now ways to better, rather. It just jumped on me here. Better ways to see things. Better see these things, which is true, right? Even a lot of people claim they're saying they weren't seeing any kind of contrails or chemtrails or any of that sort. And I agree. We haven't had too much of it here either, thank God. But that doesn't erase the rest of it, right? All the times they're doing it and probably still do it. Let's see. Jack Bruce, hello from, and I'm not sure I'm going to pronounce that, but we're just going to say Holland. Good evening. Good to see you in there, Jack. Dean Brazil. Hi, Chris. What's up, brother? Let me see. Let's see. I hate when this thing jumps on me. I'm trying to get everybody here. Coors, what's happening? You said, well, yes, Chris, legend. I miss anybody? Mort Piazza in there? What's going on? Hi, great people, and Chris, Mort says. But mini-series on... What's going on there, Mike? Good to see you there. I said, Chris, Cat, what's up? What's going on? Oops. Dale Rogers is in there. Oh, we got a few things in there, Dale. You said, what do we got going today? Well, we got a pan. We got some interesting stuff. In fact, I was talking to a buddy of mine about this. He was talking about Dr. John Brandenburg and stuff like that, and pretty cool. So we'll check that out as well. 420 aliens in there. What's going on, 420? Glenn Judge, greetings from planet Earth. Videos get better and better. Yep, just sniff them out a little bit better. Find all those small little inconsistencies and little anomalies, whether they're being hidden or they just happen to be under a rock, which I find hard to believe they're just naturally there, but that doesn't mean it's not, if it is, in fact, just nothing more than a ruined structures and whatever else, right? George Fay says hello from, or hi from Fairbanks, Alaska. Good to see you in there. My first radio contact was with Fairbanks. And let me tell you, the guy that was talking to me on the CB, let me tell you something, he was not thrilled. It was like 40 below zero. I think he said it was like 25 below zero, and that's without the wind chill. And he said it was blustery up there, so no, I'm good. Noodle says, Jean Ward posted a fresh video yesterday. Or today, rather, I'm sorry. I'm looking at this other comment at the same time, mixed them up. But yeah, I'll have to check that out. Jean is kicking it out the park, no doubt about that. Nathan Bond, hey Chris, loved the last video. Thank you very much, Nathan. I appreciate that. Of course, you said more of the rocks. They seem to be so interested. We know why. Yeah, I mean, when you see this, like I said, this next video coming up. Like I said, it should be around mid-morning on Sunday. When do you see that? Oh my God! And I still got people saying, they'll come on once in a while. They'll say, oh, they don't, mess with these photos. What the hell makes you think that? It's so blatant. And this one here is probably one of the photos I've seen that is more blatant than I've seen anywhere. That's how bad it is. But you can see where there's other things like sticking out where they didn't block it entirely. So, yeah. Nathan Bond, thank you for your support. Greatly appreciated. I agree with you, LS6. He said this guy has been amazing lately. I agree. Totally agree. Let me see this. Limey Watches in there. He said, hi, Chris and all. What's going on there, Limey? Bruce Owen. What's going on there, Bruce? Thank you, LS6. I appreciate you. And I do appreciate the support. William Johnson. A lot of great videos in a row. A great job. Like I said, wait till you see the one on Sunday. crazy, crazy stuff. And here's the funny part. This was actually seen, the anomaly that I do, or actually the area that I do, was actually seen by Martine Graney back in 2016. So 4 years ago, approximately 3.5, depending if I forget if it was near the end or in the middle. I forget what it was. Not that it matters. Let's call it 4 years for argument's sake. And she's seen this, and then some other person, that's what kicked it off and reminded me of it. They had seen the same area and decided to enhance it as well. So I showed both of those because credit goes to her for finding it first, or at least posting it first, right? So, yeah. Good stuff, man. And a lot of these anomaly hunters are just awesome. And I know a lot of you guys are doing the same now. You're actually jumping on board and finding a lot of crazy stuff. First name says, was satellite watching this morning and saw one doing erratic maneuvers. Very strange. Yeah, that is pretty erratic, yeah, and strange. Yeah, it's not likely that usually happens, right? They just kind of, like you see the ISS. If you're lucky enough to see it with a telescope, you see it just zip right by. I mean, it's doing approximately 17,500 miles per hour, so it's zipping right along. Speaking of which, I wonder, I don't think they'll be transmitting now, but we'll go ahead and kick this on. See what we can find here. Yes, it does jump in there. I'll just turn it on just for craps and giggles there. See what's up. Let's see. Lantimus. Anyone voting for Biden? I heard he's not from Earth. Well, I hope he's not from Mars because that's already a crap place then. Derek Balno says, laughed at that one. Dean, he said you asked where do you find the pictures to investigate? I've tried and found no good pictures on NASA's site. What am I doing wrong? Well, I mean, if you go to the actual official site for raw photos, go there and it'll actually be the latest one. And of course, if you look at it, you can actually punch in. There's like two little boxes, and it'll say Sol. And then you just put in the cell you want to see. So let's say, I think it's up to 2,700 and I want to say 73 or something like that. I could be off on that. You guys can correct me if you've been looking at it recently. And when you go back, you can actually punch in like 2,760. I mean, and then you can put it on both days, or from like 2,760 to 2,765 or whatever. And you'll get like 5 days worth of photos. So, but you can go all the way back to Sol, first Sol. Max K says, check out UFOs over Vegas. This guy has been watching amazing stuff for years. Worth a look. I've seen a lot of those, man. It's just crazy. What I love about it, it's not just one person seeing it, right? There's like all kinds of people now with cameras, with their phones, regular cameras, even people using telescopes looking at these things so they can get a far better close-up look, right? That's what I like, because it's mass people seeing this stuff. That's what's cool. Gerald McDonald, he said, hey, Chris, hey, community, happy Friday. Well, happy Friday to you, Jerry. I think I said Jerry to begin with. Yeah, I did. Nacho Libre's in the house. What's going on there, Nacho? Good to see you in there. We live. Mega live. Oh, live, you're saying. Okay. We live. Good to see you in there, Nacho. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody here. Have you seen the video released by UNICEF? Chile has released about accepting a reptilian race in class. I have a link if you want it. Huh. That's a little bizarre. Yeah, if you got a link, we'll check it out. I'll drink to that. What's going on in the arts and crafts? Good to see you in there. Said hello, Chris. Hello, everyone. Sorry I'm late. I hope everyone's doing well. I am doing well. I'm sure everybody else is too. They can always chime in. Grant McGowan, what's happening? Good to see you, Chris. I just got in. Well, you made it. You made it in time. Plenty of time, actually. Only, what, 19 minutes into this. We're just saying hellos and stuff like that. Adam, he said, hey, Chris, great to see you live. Unexplained Mysteries has some interesting latest info on the moon. Have to check that out. All right, let's see what's going on here. Audio's good. We are good. Weird World, what up? What's going on? How's this cursor? Is this pretty big? I had somebody saying to me, hey, can you make your cursor bigger? I swear to God, I can make this thing as large as your head, and it still only shows that small, especially when you're in, Photoshop, because the cursor on the normal part, in other words, not in that app or that, we'll call it an app. If it's in there, forget about it. You never see the actual cursor like this one. And I'm looking at it right now, and it's super, super tiny on the screen. I don't understand that. This thing is as big right now. It's covering the whole. I can put it over the whole Y. It's covering the whole Y up as well as part of the O on Beyond, and yet I don't see it on the. It's so tiny. Let me see something. Let me go back into mouse settings. Let's just see if it gets any bigger. Let's see. Let's go ahead. Let's make this thing super big. Let's see what it does on the screen here. Oh, it's still tiny as hell. And I've got the thing as large as it will go. You can see that. All right? Going real tiny. Let's see if it gets any bigger. Nope. It might be something in the settings here I'm going to have to do. Because I'm actually using... Let me see here. I'm actually using OBS or Streamlabs OBS. And, yeah, I don't get it. So it might be in there. I'll have to go into that and set that next time. You see something? Go back here. Yeah, I don't know, Elaine, if you actually... that's okay, mini feed. Okay, I'm looking at this differently here. Just checking out the other monitor. I just want to make sure I was thanking everybody for the support. Nathan Bond and, like I said, LS6 and James Cragen. You said, hi, Chris, again. Great work from you again this week. Looking forward to another great hangout like always. It's always great on my end. Why does this phone keep going? Bzz, bzz. Oh, okay. Jump down here. Go down here to the bottom. Leet 463. He said, happy Memorial Day, Chris. Thanks for the videos. Oh, more reason to get to Mars with COVID. With the COVID, yeah, no doubt. It's like, sign me up, I'm out. Our luck, we'd take it with us. That would suck. Oops. Let me see. I'm trying to remember where that is, come to think of it, but I will find it in a second. Renee said extraterrestrial alien UFOs never refuel. They're always recharging like cell phones plugged into the outlet. But the Starcraft's outlet antimatter, anti-gravitational element 115, 116, siphoned from black holes. That, or remember that one that had like that large, like disc type thing, you know, leaching off the plasma off the sun. Remember that one too? Oh, yeah, Nathan. Like I said, I was just, you said, hey, Chris, anything you can tell us about next video? Like I said, I mean, you're going to see clearly the manipulation, which some people still doubt. And I don't mean you subs, but I mean some people that come along that probably never even been on the channel. Like I said, I call them transients. They just happen to come by and they're like, oh, this guy, I don't know what the heck he's saying. They never mess with these photos. You wait till you see that. But it's not just that alone. What you find is just even more incredible, because there's times where they don't even take the rest of it out. And that's what you find. And sometimes you can see underneath the manipulation. That's key. And yeah, wait till you see it. It's pretty cool. James Cragen, you said, Chris, did you see the situation in the Antarctic and the energy rays or blasts that are coming up from under 5 miles of ice, which NASA and scientists should not be down there? Yeah, they're talking about an alternative universe, right? Or was it the universe? They're saying where time goes backwards. I think that's the one you're talking about. Bizarre. I mean, just crazy stuff. They sent some kind of test equipment into the atmosphere as well. That's what they did. They went over Antarctica with this huge balloon and this equipment, hanging from it. And that's when they've seen that. I'm just like, really? That's pretty sweet. And kind of bizarre at the same time. Maybe you're right. You said I heard SpaceX going to send people to the ISS on the 27th of May. Well, that's what I heard too. Was it the 27th? But yeah, I mean, listen, it's all about test runs, right? And if they can do it, boom, 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 do it more and more and more. Everything's safe. Everything's good. And if there's any little problems or discrepancies or whatever they got to do, whether it be hardware, software, any kind of malfunctions, get it done now while you're going into low orbit, right? Because once you're out there, a little hard to turn back. Renee, yes, I did. He said, Chris, did you finish your shift today at the groceries? Yeah, absolutely. It's a long day. Like tomorrow's going to be a long day, but that's all right. That's why we like to do this stuff on, today and Fridays. It's just better. So I don't have to come out of work and go, long day, because sometimes I don't even know how long the day's going to be, right? So it kind of sucks. Adam, you said they are talking about how thick the moon actually is, that it may have a hollow core because of the moon's vibrations, etc. Interesting point. Yeah, because like I said, they did that test where they took part of the rocket and they slammed it into the moon more than once, and of course it rang like a bell. So they're trying to think, well, okay, is it hollow? Does it have hollow caverns in it because of old or ancient lava tubes? But the way this thing was like vibrating, they're saying, so there's a lot of people that have a lot of doubts as to whether it's real or been made by somebody and brought here, which that's been said to in ancient stories of ancient people, said that there was a time without the moon. So, and when you look at the moon, it really is odd. I mean, like I said, when you look at the craters, I don't care how large or how wide they are, 99% of them are all the same depth. It's almost like I said, take a nice smooth ball, and it's like they just if you could put clay on the smooth ball, like they're building up the actual crater walls, they're building those up, and yet the actual inside of the crater has not changed. Think about it. I've seen small ones right next to large ones, and they're no difference in depth. Now, I'm not saying there hasn't been any deeper than that, but it's just weird. If you take a look at a good picture of the moon, look what happens. You're just going to go, what the hell? That doesn't make any sense. I would think something is almost a mile wide surely is going to put a bigger dent in that moon compared to something that's only 30 feet wide. Not the case. At least not most of them, you see. Oh, this drink's going to kill me. Oh, okay, James, that is the one? You said, yeah, that is the one, Chris. Backwards in time. I was reading the comments on that video. Everybody's like, I'm going there, man. I'll get younger. Robert Fogarty, you said, hi, Chris. Thanks for all of the pics. I talk about Mars with all my friends. Now, do they think you're a little whacked out, or they like, hey, cool. That sounds interesting. Or did they chime in? Some of these people come here and they go, man, I try to talk to my friends. I think I'm out to lunch. I'm like, that's not good. But people who are open-minded are willing to listen. I'm not saying they have to believe you. But, you know, but people who are, they'll go, oh, really? I want to look into that. Great. We got thunderstorms going on right now. And my battery backup just kicked on and off. Let's see here. If I got all of this computer equipment working, let's see. Man. 21 minutes of power, but if I shut this other one off, I'll have close to an hour. The one I'm watching the feed on actually takes more power than this other bigger computer. Go figure, right? I don't know if you guys seen that, but the power just flickered. The lights went on and off. But we are live. And you know why? Because of you guys. Can't buy battery backups. You know, I get it from you guys. You guys support the channel. I go out and I make sure the computers are running, up and running and doing their things. And it's all because of you guys, because of your channel. Oops. Damn it, I hate it when this thing jumps like this. Let me go back up. Oh, did you, Pete? Good to see you in there. You said, hey, Chris. Hey there, Chris. I had an issue getting on. Huh. I hope all is good now. Hey, Nick, what's going on? Nick Mads in the house says, thanks for the video and have a good weekend, Chris. Well, you do the same. We're going to try. We'll have to work our butts off tomorrow, but then after that we can relax. Egon says the moon is inhabited for a long time. Pete saying hello, everyone. I agree with you, Mimi. You said, I always get a weird feeling looking at the moon. Well, some of the things I've seen on the moon, and I've done videos on it, whew, crazy. It really does. It gives you that kind of weird, eerie feeling, right? Oops. Noodles, you said, talking about, Byron? Who is it? Ron Byron? I guess I'm pronouncing that maybe correctly. Updated me on Alien Hunter moments ago and said, in the video of the Pakistan Airways crash, God bless all of that parish, there appears four UFOs. The utmost one was a saucer shape. Huh. Interesting. Oh, no, Mimi, you're not crazy. You're not crazy, trust me. Max K, he said, yeah, Chris, if they go back to the moon and they show us rocks, they'd get laughed out of the park for sure. Oh, no doubt. No doubt. That was weird, Adam. I was actually watching. You said something about, I think it was pizza or something like that, and it went, and it literally disappeared. It said, message retracted. And then you said something about olives, and the thing just went boom, just went away. That's weird. Nathan, you said that's why we were warned off the moon. I wonder if they were warned, if they actually almost crapped themselves when they seen the stuff that's on the moon and said, oh, we're not going back there. But apparently we are. So maybe they just figured, hey, there's nothing up there that's going to do anything to us at this point. Maybe it's all just derelict spacecraft instructions and stuff, and there's nothing there, and they're just like, hey, we can go up there now. And there's nothing to fear, right? Yeah, you get that kind of woozy feeling, right, Mimi? You said, Chris, it feels like homesickness. I believe that. Brian Norton, what's happening? He said, always excited to hear the phone chime that tells me Mars Chat is on. Weird World says, jalapenos, mushrooms, bacon, anchovies. Everything else sounds good, but the anchovies, not too fond of. Jack Bruce says, thumbs up, guys, for Chris. That's right, slam it down. Bam. I'm not even sure I'm going to pronounce your name. Terje? Terj? Hey, from Norway, what's your opinion on the towers found in the moon pics are real? And how tall are they? You're probably talking about the ones that Richard Hoagland talked about. And it's supposed to be like glass towers kind of thing. Truthfully, I don't know. I've seen some of those photos where they brought up the exposure on these, and you can see like what look like towers. Now, I'm not sure if that's kind of a lighting thing that's throwing something off, but some of them actually do look like like towers. I was going to say tires. That's not good. Really big tires. No, but the towers. Now, there was one too that was, what was the other one? Almost like a monolith, wasn't there? That they found. But there's several things in there that other people had found in these photos, so it's hard to tell because some of these things are like miles high that they've seen. So I believe a lot of that is real. Some of it, not so much. Oops. Oh, okay. I got you, Adam. It was funny because I seen your comment. All of a sudden, it just said retracted. I'm like, what the heck just happened? That's strange. All right. Nacho, he said Ken's Moon says that after Apollo 17, many people heard over the shuttle radio, we got told we're not ready and to stay away from the moon. But we do have bases up there now. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I know Ken. I know him personally. Like I said, I was in the Mars conference down in Alabama. And we were, in fact, he signed a book for me that he had. In fact, I don't know if I'll even find the thing now. Should be up here somewhere. Yep. Right here. And you can see it right there. He signed it inside. Right here. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. But basically, he was talking about this. Somebody was after him and giving him a hard time at every turn he did. Almost got him killed in India. And he said, "Thanks for having my back," and stuff like that. Ken's a good guy. I like Ken a lot, and I love the idea that him and Brent College Shepherd actually put his photos up on the internet, so everybody else can see those instead of the crap that NASA's putting out, all washed out and crap and all this other stuff. But yeah. Brian, maybe now we're going back to the moon because we have found a way to communicate, and they said, come pick up your Apollo junk you left here. Absolutely. Daniel, what's going on? Good to see you in here, man. He said, yeah, I think we need to look at the real ones because they try to diminish our credibility. Oh, absolutely. Mike Groover says they dropped the booster tank on it and couldn't believe it. Oh, yeah, because, they did that for a reason. I think they knew that because they already brought up seismographs and they put them on the moon and stuff like that. And then when they took off, they dropped part of the rocket on the moon, and they had a feeling this would happen. Why would you bring seismometers up there? Oh, we're going to see if there's any moonquakes. Okay. Is that the only reason? What's the purpose? If you wanted the moon to do it naturally, why would you bother even, letting a rocket slam into it? Doesn't make any. I think it was a top stage. I think it's before I said it was the third stage or whatever it was, but I think it was a top stage of it. And they would literally just let it crash into there. And it's happened more than once. I think it was on a couple different missions. And, so they already had this planned. So, yeah, they had a feeling that was going to happen. It's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, I heard about that too, James. You said, Chris, man, there was a interview with Linda Moulton Howe and the astronaut who claimed to be the commander, of the Apollo mission 17, 18, and 20, and he said they were warned off by different types of grays. Well, I mean, I heard the same thing. That could very well be true. But my question would be, why would they let them on there now? We want to go up there in 2024. Why would we suddenly, unless we made a pact with these things, and they're all good now, yeah, stop in the neighborhood anytime, And if we're after, different resources up there, then they're going to allow us to do that? I don't know. Dan, you said there are too many moon. I mean, I'm sorry, too many. I was thinking moon now because I'm looking at his still. Just Craig's there over yours. There are too many stories about them going back to the moon in secret, so I'm beginning to wonder if that's true, and I'm leaning more toward believing it. Absolutely. Like I said, if they went up to 17, why not keep going? They can do it. It's like learning how to ride a bike. You're like real shaky at first, and okay, it seems to go okay, and then you're like, I just want to keep riding now, because now you got the hang of it, got all the bugs out of it, know how to balance right, so you're going to keep doing it. And you may fall a couple times, have mistakes and mishaps, but you're going to continue on. And if there's something up there well worth, like helium-3 and all kinds of shit, or just structures and these spacecraft that have just been there for millions of years or whatever, how many. I mean, isn't it worth going up there repeatedly and continue to do that until you can get all the information off that? Meaning technology, whatever else it may be? Come on. Oh, yeah, they're all over that. Yep, less sweet. Yep. Actually, it is pretty sweet. Nacho, you said with everything going public now from Pentagon and such, I find it very interesting. I'm sorry, with the video UNICEF Chile released. I hope you got the link. I'm not sure if I did or not. Let me go back. Maybe I jumped right over it. Nacho, I was just going up here. I seen your other one. Smash, hit, slap, and tap the thumbs up button like you have never slapped anything before in your life. I like that. I don't see the link. Did it actually go on there? Pete, you said it's 78 degrees in Buffalo, New York. Rain is coming. We've had it for the past 4 or 5 days, man. I'm so over it. It was about 80 degrees here. It's down to 72 because it rained. Got thunderstorms in the area. So, yeah. Gonna be all warm this week coming up. Close to 90 degrees. 85 to 90 all week. I'm loving it. And we actually get to see that fiery ball in the sky this time. Actually get to see the sun. I almost forgot what it looked like. I do, Grant. You said, Chris, do you get a chance to watch Ancient Aliens? Yep, absolutely. Love it. All right, let me go back down. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'll see if I can find it up there. Let me see here. I'll check it out here. Okay. Let me do this. Yeah, I don't know. I think I've seen parts of this, so I've seen this posted, but I never did actually watch it, to be truthful. Let me go ahead and put the link in there. Let me see if it, okay, it's only 112 characters. We're good. It's got to be under. There's the link that Nacho Libre just posted. I'm going to give it to you guys right there at the very bottom here. Phil Cox, what's going on? Good to see you in there. James, you said, Chris listened to a great interview with Brandon Fugel, I guess it is, who is a new owner, of the Skinwalker Ranch on Coast to Coast Radio, and he said he has recorded sightings of unreal types of, just jumped on me, unreal types of, and plenty of them. Yeah, I'd like to check that out. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, I'll have to check that out. I'm going to keep that video up here. Okay. So what is the consensus here? Does everybody believe, like, a lot of what we're seeing in these photos are in fact structures and other things like mechanical parts and everything else? I think the consensus is probably yay, right? A lot of people don't know just how many freaking missions were to Mars. I mean, you could bring this stuff up where, let me see here. Let me do this way. Be easier. Let me see here. That one there. Let me see. See if we can find this here. No, okay. We'll do it this way. All right. It's funny because when you look at the missions here, right? This is it. Starts from way to 1960. That was the Soviet Union. Of course, you can see all of these. It was launch failure. All these things here. You know, let's see. Soviet Union. Then the United States started getting in 1964, right? Again, launch failure. And then of course it keeps going here. Successful. This is you get hold of Mariner. Pretty much Mariner 3, 4, 6 was successful. 7, 8 was a failure. But you can see Cosmos 419, stuff like that. Well, this one's really weird. When you go to the very bottom here, you got the InSight lander, right? Right there, and that was went to Mars in 2018, and you can see lander operational, landed in November 26, 2018. Look at this one here at the bottom. It's probably from Mars Company or whatever it is, and it says 2 CubeSats flyby supporting InSight. I never knew about that. Did you guys know about that? And it says successful. Flyby November 26, 2018. Last contact February 2019. That's weird. I never knew that they had a couple CubeSats actually assisting them. But you can see all over here, like Maven. That's from NASA. ExoMars. Of course, it's ESA and Roscosmos, which is obviously Russian. The Schiaparelli, that one there crashed. Carried by the Exo Trace Gas Orbiter, although the lander crashed, engineering data on the first 5 minutes of entry was successfully retrieved. So it gets a lot of information back, whether it probably does it like super fast before it actually, whether it lands successfully or not, right? But you got Dawn right here, Phoenix. I mean, look at this. Look at the list of this stuff. Deep Space 2. Deployed from MPL, no data returned. Sojourner, which was 96, but actually got there in 97. That was a launch date. That was the first rover on Mars. Not the first lander, but rover. And then, of course, 2004, you can see right here. You got Rosetta, and then, of course, you've got Curiosity, which was in 2011. That was launched, but it got there in 2012. You have Opportunity and Spirit, which was 2003, launched, but was actually, you can see it right here, landed on January 4th, 2004. Yeah, pretty cool. Let me get rid of these here, so I can see this other part of the screen, make sure we're good. But there's so much of it. Look at this. Starting from 1960, guys, and you could almost bet it's happened even prior to that. Failed to orbit. And again, the Soviet Union was the first one to try this, and according, like I said, it wasn't until 20, I'm thinking 20 because I'm looking at this other number, 1964, where the NASA tried it, and it failed. It says launch failure. And then, of course, successful. And that was the first flyby. That was Mariner 4. So, and then you got Zond 2, which is Soviet Union. You can see it right there. Every time you you can see that's a picture of the Zond. Their spacecraft. It says spacecraft failure. But it just goes to show you how much stuff was actually either flew by and just kept flying by. They wanted to actually go into orbit. Didn't happen. Okay. Now, when you look at this other picture, okay, and now we all know about Dr. John Brandenburg. We were talking about this before. Again, here is all of the crafts and stuff that had been there in this area. Now, keep in mind, these are 100 miles apart, right? Hundreds of miles apart, I'm sorry. You got Valles Marineris just between, it says Mars 6 right here, and Schiaparelli, which is in 2016, you got Valles Marineris, named after the Mariner spacecraft. Okay, and I got to keep looking over here because I want to be able to answer you guys if I have to. So forgive me if I don't see your comment right away because I'm trying to show this. But again, here we are. Here's all the rovers. Here's right here. This is Spirit, and you can see where it's located right down in here, right on the right-hand side, halfway up. You got Curiosity right there in 2012. You got the Insight, which is the one they just launched. It was in 2016 or whatever, or landed there rather. Opportunities over on this side, in the middle of the page. Okay, Viking 1, Phoenix. Funny thing is, when you listen to Dr. John Brandenburg, guess where these explosions were that they claimed were in midair and did not hit the ground? There you go. There's Valles Marineris. All of these crafts and landers are in this area. Here's a large explosion. And Galaxius Chaos, that's the one I keep forgetting. I keep telling you guys, there's a smaller explosion. Here's a larger explosion. And there's the area of Cydonia, where the face was. Every one of these crafts, landers, orbiters, whatever they may be, rovers, all in this area. Imagine that, okay? It's funny when it's like, is it pure coincidence that they landed every one of those things here? Why? Why not somewhere else? Mars is pretty large. Why didn't they land it somewhere else? Why didn't they put it on the other side of Mars? Why here? It all coincides if you really think about it. Large explosion, small explosion, every one of these darn rovers are right here in this area. Figure that out. Whoops. Let me get this over here. Josh D, what's going on? Good to see you in there. Oh, yeah, absolutely, Daniel. You said they had pictures from Mars going all the way back to 1965. I've seen these pictures. They're not very good, but clearly they've known about all of this stuff since then. Oh, yeah, if not earlier. You got to remember, they might have sent better spacecraft, or they actually had really good photos, but they can actually make them less res. What they do is take a crappier picture of said photo. Now it looks suddenly like it's low res, right? Or they take a really good one, they really blow it up to it starts to fall apart, where you have pixelations and compression artifacts and whatever they can do just about any, trick to try to, make it look like low res, right? Yeah, exactly. Well, there's actually, you see 4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. But you got 1, 2, 3. And you got, of course, you got the Opportunity rovers and everything else. And you see it says prevailing winds and stuff like that. So, again, here's every single one of these. Sojourner's right here. And that's pretty close. Probably going to end up messing this up, but let's see. Again, Sojourner's right here. That was the very first one in 97. And then, of course, you got Spirit. Curiosity. Well, you got Spirit. And then you got Opportunity. And then you got Curiosity. So 1, 2, 3, because these are pretty much, I think it was, I'm trying to remember which one was a month later. There's Spirit and Opportunity both, landed on Mars, but one was like a month behind. But either way, it doesn't matter. But look at the positions these things are at. They try to put as close as they could. Then, of course, they got Spirit, Opportunity, and then Curiosity here. So, with that being said, look at all of these things here. And they're hundreds of miles apart, right? But why this area? Because it probably would have been a lot of devastation if this, in fact, was true, meaning these large explosions, so on and so forth, right? Yeah. Let's see. Chris Pomey, you said, what's up? Latest on Mars? Well, we're going over to talking about Dr. John Brandenburg when he was talking about 2 mid-air explosions, large explosions on Mars. And funny how they were right here. One was a very large one. You can see it right here. Very large one here. Smaller one here. Next to Galaxia's Chaos, which is a smaller one, and then a larger one here. And every one of these landers, rovers, and everything else are all in these areas, hundreds of miles apart. Maybe even not quite that far between the other rovers, but, and you can see them all right here. And funny enough, there's a large one who would have been right here, small one right here. Look where all of these things are. Is it coincidental? I don't think so. I think they were there for a reason. And it's why I'm saying, guys, these was all premeditated. They knew exactly what they were going to do and where they were going to land these things. I think they knew this a long, long time ago about those explosions. Yeah, that pesky swamp gas, Mimi. Yeah, it gets in it and responsible for the nuclear explosion. Ian Wentworth, what's happening? You say, hey, Chris, how's it going? I'm late to the hangout this evening. What did I miss? Well, like I said, we're just covering this right here about all of the crafts between this list here, which are going to make a lot smaller now. All of these here from 1960 on, all the way down. It's either failed, flew by and kept flying and did not get into orbit. Ones that are successful, ones that have landed, they're operational, they're on the there right now. Let me see something too. And you can see right here, Spirit. You can see where Spirit Rover says operated for 2,208 or 2,208 sols. And this one here, this goes back. This is an older list, but it says operated from. Operated for 5,351 because Opportunity did take a dump, so they might have, updated this, which I think that's pretty close if it's not the exact number. But you can see all of these. Look at it. I mean, it's crazy. Let me do this here. If you guys actually want to see the weather on Mars, you can see it right here. This one here is from the Curiosity rover. And the cool thing about this is you can either hit right here, either Kelvin, Celsius, or Fahrenheit. Just click on it. But even here, the latest sol was 2766. I think it said 2770 or something like that, so I was off a little bit. But and you can see right here, air temperature, 19 degrees Fahrenheit, or -7 Celsius. And you've got ground temperature is 63. Now, you would think anything that's going to be living on the surface is going to be a lot warmer, right? There you go. And they say that, Gale Crater is like a bowl type thing, right? So you get like its own ecosystem going on in there. Wouldn't surprise me. 63 degrees Fahrenheit, but 17 degrees max. And, of course, that's Celsius. And, of course, you got barometric pressure. And you can see right here, you can go right here. Millibars. I said barometric. Millibars, I'm sorry. And you can see right here, sunrise, sunset. Then you've got the one from Insight right here, and it'll tell you the temperatures right here. Now, again, where's Insight? We'll go down here. And you can see it's right here. Curiosity rover is just south of that. Now, I don't know how many miles that is, but it's just south of it. So you get an idea. And you can see the sols that they were doing here, but this is, what's weird about this is it's only, well, it's not really weird, but it's just weird seeing the numbers that it's only 528 that it's been there. But you can see it went back from 522 up to 528. And you can see 22 degrees, 33, 29, But I'm not sure if that's air temperature they're showing. Let's see. So it's taking daily weather measurements, temperature, wind, pressure on the surface of Mars at Elysium Planitia, a flat, smooth plain near Mars equator. I don't think that's even true because I've done videos on this particular thing, and there's actual things that have been blurred out right around that lander. But you can see right here, how they got a list of numbers right there. And you can see the average and everything else. Max, different temperatures. But like I said, I can go back to, oops, not that, I'm sorry. Right here, and I can go backwards on this, and you'll see the sols right here change. It says sol, now it's 2765, 64. And you can see the ground temperature and air temperature will change, like 61. Of course, this is that's Celsius, this is max. This would be Fahrenheit, 19. So I'm not sure how far they're talking off the ground because they're saying air, and then they're saying ground temperature, 61. What? I think we will. Mimi, you said, Chris, do you believe we will see rover pictures of Cydonia one day? They probably will, but that'll be all completely distorted and whatnot. If any of you guys are interested in this, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to drop the links to both of these if you guys just want to have it and bookmark it. So this one here is Curiosity rover weather. I'm going to give you that one. This is the first one right here. And you can always bookmark that. There's that one right there. And then, of course, you got the Insight weather. Just cool to have, Right there. Weird World, you said there are definitely man-made materials on Mars. Trying to hide things the way they do on these images pretty much proves that anyway. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, like I said, they'll say, well, not a lot of people, because we already know better, but the people that come through and probably never seen the channel or how we dissect it, they wouldn't do that. Why would they do that? Well, the fact of the matter, even if you don't see anything else in this photo, the fact that they're blocking things out should have you, like, red flagging it. There's no reason they should be doing that. And I actually say that a little bit and explain a little bit, in that next video, by the way. Like I said, that's coming out on Sunday. It'll be around mid-morning. I've heard about that too, Grant. You said Giza's Hall of Records were found a long time ago, explaining the Earth-Mars connection. That's why NASA went up there. I'm not even surprised. I've heard that before, and it wouldn't surprise me. We know it. Egypt and all these other, the way they're laid out. It's like the same pattern and layout as the face of Cydonia region and stuff like that. Chris, Pomey, you said, Pomey, I'm sorry if I'm screwing that up. Do you think many years ago there was rain or even snow on Mars? Well, there's still a water cycle there now. And you can look this up. It actually has a water cycle. So, and it's not just carbon, like they used to say, because it used to be, all the polar caps are nothing but, carbon, CO2 kind of thing. That's not true now. Now they're saying it's actually water ice, so H2O. So it actually does have, if I could find the video, I'd actually play it for you guys, but I'd get a strike on it. If I could find this thing, I'll actually list it. I'll put it down, because I don't remember what the title of it was, but I've got it on the other hard drive. If I can find it, like I said this before, if you guys have been following, you know the story, but the technician working on the actual drill, it's like a hammer drill, he was actually being interviewed by a guy that has his own channel, and he said, he's saying, because it has like a diamond head, it's like a carbide head to it, and it literally would drill, but if you look at it, it's like a spiral, like a regular drill bit, going up in this little tube, and what it does actually, when it drills, it goes in there, it actually picks up the soil, and it puts it in a spectrometer, and it actually will see what it's comprised of, what, chemicals, whatever. And he says, sometimes it can get jammed. He said, get jammed? What do you mean by that? And he says, well, we found out there's an actual water cycle in Gale Crater. So there is one there, no doubt about it. Even if it's brine, if it's liquid brine, which is highly salted water, they claim, yeah, there's a water cycle there. So it still rains. And as far as I'm concerned, it's regular rain. It's not salt. Tim, Houston, you said the existence of the Apollo photographic record is suspicion in itself. Oh, yeah. Joey Centofanti said all of the science magazines in this country are cleansed of all and any of the stuff on Mars or the moon. Yeah, because they're hoping that nobody really pays attention. Like, as many people we have on here right now, how many of your friends and family would say, yeah, I follow that too? Yay or nay? How many people would say, oh, yeah, that's cool. Like, if you talked to them about it, they'd be like, yeah, that's neat. And that'd be the end of it. Ask any one of them, your friends or family, and say, what about those pictures, the latest pictures from Mars? Huh? They don't know. So it's like a small percentage of everybody, and I'm not saying it's tiny, like half of 1%, but there's a lot of people, A, believe in this other life somewhere else, and a lot of people do actually follow or look at the Mars photos and moon photos, and then there's X amount that actually scrutinize these things, right? Well, like you said, Chris, you said, I'm interested in weather on Mars. Well, like I said, I dropped those links so you can check those out. You just have to go a little further up from that comment you put up there, and you got one from the Curiosity rover, which has its own weather station on it, and of course you got the InSight that also has one on there, and it's a little bit north of the rover. James, you said, Chris, with all of them flyovers and landing, etc., then we must all accept that the photos NASA leak to us and is all that they are supposed to have. Yeah, right. I say they have photos of every inch of Mars. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Every bit of Mars has been actually photographed, with the MRO and other spacecraft flying around the Maven, which I don't think that was designed to do that, but regardless, they all have cameras on them pretty much. So, they're probably taking all kinds of crazy photos, seeing everything up close. Again, the MRO with the high-rise camera on it can see down to a 4-foot swath on the floor of the actual crater. So, yeah, they're seeing some pretty crazy stuff on there. Let's just put it that way. Elaine Walls, thank you very much. I appreciate your support as always. He said, have a great weekend, everyone. Are you taking off, Elaine? Frank, you said, we are it. Timothy Pendleton, what's going on, man? He said, yes, it is. Yes, it is living in Mussats, or 5G is screwing with the Earth vibrations. I don't know. I tend to say no on that only because the other thing I've seen happen where a lot of these amateur astronomers were saying that you get all of these CubeSats from Elon Musk and the big link they're trying to put around Earth, that they're getting in the way, right? As far as the 5G, like I said, just look this stuff up. I mean, there's a lot of people that are claiming, oh, yeah, it's causing this, it's causing that. I don't think that's the case at all, because it's very low powered. It's just more directional as it is than like 4G and 3G, right? It's more omnidirectional where it goes out and spans out a lot more, where this is a lot more directed. And when it's directed, it doesn't have to be high power. If you're using an omnidirectional, which means like a stick, right, and you want to reach so many areas all at once, you have to use much more power. It's kind of like a satellite dish when it receives. Now, the C-band was a lot more flatter, or I shouldn't say flatter, I'm sorry, it was a lot more concaved, so it could be a lot more precise. Anybody who's ever had a C-band satellite, because I had a 10-foot one, and it was so precise when you locked it on, I don't care how hot it rained, it could hail on it, and it would not shut it. It would not shut that signal down. However, you get the low, because they were. Here's the thing: those particular satellites were very low powered. The C-band, the KU band, you got the satellite dishes like DirecTV, Dish Network. They're a lot wider. They're not as concaved. Why? Because the satellites that are out there now are much more powerful. So you don't need to have it that large and that concaved. That's why those are different compared to the other C-band. And it's no different when you have like what they call a grid antenna, which is just a panel antenna, either grid or panel. It's directional, so that they can use a lot less power and send it from to long distances away to hit other towers and everything else. So if you look this stuff up, you'll find it's not as dangerous as everybody thinks. I'm not saying you would want to live next to it. God knows I wouldn't. But they are way up above your head and everything else, which is good, right? Again, Elaine, I appreciate your support. If you're leaving, I set my alarm. I'm back to bed. So anyway, thank you for being here, and have yourself a good night there. I guess you said you're working at night. I'm working midnights. Yeah, so you're working the graveyard shift. So you have a good night and have a good day tomorrow there, right? If you haven't already jumped off. Holger Eckerd, you said like and shared. Do same. James, you said, Chris, I agree with you. They must have a 4-foot scope to the surface, like you said. Yeah, I mean, it's just a way. I mean, they can literally just for 4. I mean, and I forget how many miles this is up in orbiting Mars, right? Regardless, 4-foot swath. But again, if you're anywhere between 5'10" and 6 foot, on the average, you could literally get in a fetal position and sit right inside this camera. It's got a telephoto lens, or just be able to zoom right in. I mean, that's got to be a hell of a zoom to be able to do that. So wherever that rover is roaming, it can see everything that's there. And they claim, well, they're doing it for the rover so that, it can get around and, avoid obstacles. It does it all by itself. It doesn't need our help. It was designed to be autonomous. It doesn't need our help. It's designed to take photos of different areas. They will give it commands, don't get me wrong. They'll give it commands to, like, turn right, go over here, check this out, stop, take a bunch of photos. Just go around with the mass cam, take different photos. And if they want to get real close in, they can get into the, use the nav cams, stuff like that. Oops. All right. Daniel, you said, yeah, and I would say the water cycle returns every spring along with some green objects. The Mars orbiter has determined are green. Absolutely. I mean, again, the reason why I doubted this a long time ago, and I'm saying, okay, and I've always said that there was H2O on these polar caps because if you look at the Google photos of Mars, just Google it. Hubble photos of Mars, and you'll see they'll have like a bunch of photos of actual Mars, and they'll have the caps. And during the summer, they get smaller like they do here on Earth. Okay, warmer seasons got the tilt of the Earth. Literally, the caps shrink. Well, guess what? When it gets colder, they grow again. They said, well, it's from pressure, and that's true. It can happen. However, they also then stated, because I kept saying that's BS. This thing has a water cycle, and I said it long before I heard that guy say it. There's water on this planet, not just carbon, ice. It's actually H2O. And it wasn't a year or two later, boom, there's ice there. It's not just carbon ice. It's actually H2O under it, just like we have here in the caps here. So, Chris, you said how many years can a rover operate for on Mars? Well, the Spirit and Opportunity lasted for X amount of time, but the first one, Spirit, got stuck in the soil, and I did a video about that, and it didn't just get stuck in that soil. It got hung up on something, and you could see something coming right through the wheel, and it pretty much locked it, and they couldn't get out of it after that. It got stuck on something. Remember, these things are 6-wheel drive, and they have like a rabbit button where they can literally, try to launch this thing. So even if it ran into a pit, there's 6 wheels to try to pull this thing out, and yet it couldn't get out. So that one there supposedly became a dead stick because it couldn't move, and I don't know why it would be, because as long as the solar panels didn't get completely dusted, meaning covered over, then it should still be functioning. Now, they did say a while after that, they said it was pretty much dead. They said they actually got it to get a signal back from it, and then they didn't hear much back from it. The Opportunity, it met with the large dust storm, which covered the panels this time, and it couldn't uncover it, and therefore it became a dead stick kind of thing. I don't believe that's the case. They had they could put a voltage over the skin of these solar panels and could disperse this dust. I mean, you'd have to go over there with pails of dirt just to dump on it for it to not be able to do that. So I don't know how that is. I think it's still functioning and running around up there, to be truthful with you. But it gets them off the hook, if that's the case. I'm only speculating because I don't have any proof of that. But if it's still running around, they don't have to do any more pictures of it. They don't have to do any of that. They don't have to basically support the public, meaning show pictures of it and everything else. Just let it do its, what it has to do, and nobody has to know what's going on with it. Doesn't have to take pictures. They don't have to put it online anymore. Curiosity is nuclear powered. And so that one there, the body, the wheels, and everything will fall off before it completely decays and dies off in that nuclear power plant. Noodles. Any shape-shifting girls want to abduct me? I'm trying to remember where that... I forget the name of it, Pete. He said, is the new rover going to the same areas? Truthfully, I don't remember. But I believe that's Perseverance, isn't it? The new name of that one? So, yeah. I'm trying to remember. I don't think it was much further, but I know... I'm trying to remember now if it was just north of that area. Tim Houston, you said, Chris, for as long as the Martians keep cleaning the solar panels. Well, I mean, they claim that there's somebody up there. Remember that one that showed like somebody was cleaning off the rover? That's not true. That was actually part of the actual arm, the boom itself, and the way it was, the tool head was actually turned. It just gave that weird, like it was a hat, not a hat, I'm sorry, but the hair and everything else. That wasn't, at least that's what they claim. Now, is that true? I've seen pictures of that thing in different shadows, and it looked very similar to that. So, in other words, it depends on the sun, the way the shadow hits it just right. But, like I said, to me, the opportunity is still working. I believe the spirit is too. Dan, you said even NASA admits there is an underground lakes. I believe there's above ground rivers and lakes, maybe not the way they used to be. Well, they claim that already. Yeah, there's like a mile wide lake underground near the South Pole, and it's been seen because they did a radar imaging of that area and found, and it has to be at least 12 inches in depth, at least this cavern, in order for it to pick it up, and it did. So I forget how deep they say it is as far as the cavern and where the water is, as opposed to, the actual width, which is like a mile, they said, in width. So there's no doubt in my mind that that there's lakes on the surface as well, especially in the equatorial region like here. Think about it. If you're going to go to any planet, where would you go? It had to be the equatorial region because that would be the hottest and warmest part of the planet. So it makes sense to do that. So again, they weren't just pulling us out of their rear end where to land and which ones and exactly where they're going to land these things, right? Marcus Maximus, what's going on? He said hello to all from Spain. Hola, what's happening? ¿Qué pasa? Great to be here and with you all, Chris. Well, good to have you here, Marcus. Thank you, James Cragen, for your support, as always. Chris, let's buy NASA a cloth to wipe them panels, man. They probably need it. Either how about some of this? Let's get some of this to do it. This is what they probably should have put on it. How about a nice blast of air? That'd help. But you used to clean keyboards and computers and stuff like that. But that's what they probably should have used, right? Would have been a little more helpful. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's what I was trying to remember, Phil. It said Jezero Crater is where the next rover is going to go. You probably looked that up, didn't you? And what region was in that, if you did look it up? I'm almost positive it wasn't very far. I mean, it was miles apart, but I think it was pretty close to all of these other landers and everything else, right? So I don't know. Again, James, thanks for your support, man. Planet 9, it says, Mars sure looks like Greenland with a reddish filter. You know, I've heard that before. I don't believe that's the truth at all. I know there was a picture that somebody's had Greenland, and of course they made a red filter out of it and all this other stuff and said, look, it's just like it. Well, was that an actual photo of Mars? And then it was said, oh, look, they took a picture. Oh, here, look, it's in Greenland. Or did they just put the red filter over Greenland? It's the same thing they did about some kind of place on Earth and about the moon, which was found out to be completely hoaxed. So be careful of that stuff. Oops. Yeah, I do remember that Blue Sunset. Good to see you in there, by the way. They said, Chris, don't you know what Opportunity's final transmission was? It says, yeah, it's dark. I'm getting lonely. I'm dying or something like that. It's getting dark. I'm fading away or something like that. That was pretty sad to see that thing go. He said it's getting dark or something like that. I would say so, Cody, yeah. He said, are astronauts actually taking a trip? Yeah, well, here's the thing. A lot of people don't realize this, but they'll say like a lot of these were faked, meaning going to the moon. Maybe the next one's going up will be faked as well. Are they? Because there's going to be a lot of people now, compared to the 1960s, that have their own telescopes. And guess what? If you just happen to be just rotating perfectly and they're on the way to the moon, you're going to see them. You will probably see them. Now, you know, there's going to be people listening, like ham radio operators listening as this. Now, they'll be tracking them because a lot of people have what they call Yagi antennas. And you can literally just point them and just keep tracking them going to the moon. If they're still using a 2 meter, you know, which is a good possibility. Unless they're using something much more, you know, up to date, right? But to me, it's just like, yeah, they're absolutely going there because any country that didn't like us back even in the day, they would have ratted us out in a New York second, right? Especially during the Cold War, right? Hell, it don't even have to be a war. It can be anything. Just a disagreement. Simo, I guess her name is. Hey, hi, Chris. Why there is so much activity in the rockets launch nowadays? I just wonder. Hope they're all well. Well, yeah, I mean, they're going to, listen, it's like we know that we want to go back to the moon, right? They're also getting geared up for Mars. So, you know, at some point, they're going to keep testing these things, right? Like we were talking about SpaceX wants to send now people to, with his rockets, and his capsules or whatever, and he wants to send these guys to the ISS. Now, keep doing that. Okay, it's within Earth's orbit. Okay, get all of these bugs out of it that may be, like I said, hardware or software, and what do you get? Okay, we got that. We hurdle all that stuff that might be a problem, got all the bugs out of it. Now we can think about going long distance now. And you're going to see a lot more of that. Tim, I think they already have. You know, you said, pity NASA won't go to Cydonia and check out the damn city. Think about it. If they can see a 4-foot swath on the ground, you know they picked that area apart. You know, when they talked about the Viking orbiter, when they took the pictures of it originally, and then they showed that sorry excuse for a photo way later than that. Oh, we took all the pictures now. You can see this thing is so CGI'd, it's pitiful. Come on. I mean, I believe the Viking photos before I'll believe that. It looked more realistic. It was actually realistic compared to that pile of crap that they showed, which is CGI to the max. Oh, it was just the shadows. Oh, whatever. You can see that stuff has been completely airbrushed and CGI to death. Dan, you said Joe on Art Alien TV was saying to me that NASA will probably never tell us that it will be Elon Musk. I said I don't think Elon Musk will talk either. I'm sure He's been sworn to secrecy. Yeah, I mean, think about it. If you were in his shoes and you're now subcontracted through NASA and everything else, and you say, okay, that's fine. You're now in the circle, right? And you're saying, hey, come on, guys, tell me what's up. What's the truth? And then they say, well, and because he actually wants to die on Mars, Elon. He actually said it. So now he says, and they go, okay, here's the real deal. This is what it looks like. This is what we're really looking at. Okay, let's get to Mars. And it could be any of us going. It's going to be scientists going there. And if he goes there, then he's going to be like, okay, I'm going to be, mum's the word. Not going to say a word about it. And that's going to be the end of it. I'll be surprised if he actually does not say anything about it. Now, who knows, right? Maybe it'll eventually come out and we'll all be like, yeehaw, this is awesome, right? Ian Wentworth, thank you very much for your support. Many thanks for your work, Chris. Well, thank you in return. You guys are awesome, right? You may be right about that, Grant. He said the Cydonia complex is a crime scene. NASA won't tell us anything soon. You're probably right. Because, again, it's probably we've been to the moon. Ooh, the biggest step for mankind. Well, again, what kind of can of worms would you open if you started saying, look what we found? Structures everywhere, whether they're still standing or the decimated areas or whatever it may be. What kind of implications would that be? That would be like a huge can of worms they'd have to answer to. And I think they just really don't know how to go about it. Clerks 93. Elon Musk, I'm sorry, talking about putting a chip in your skull. Let's see if he's the first test subject. That'd be interesting. James, you said, Chris, as you said 1,000 times, man, why does NASA need to block anything out at all? Which is true. And I've said this a million times. People can doubt it whether they want to or not. It really doesn't matter to me. I want everybody to come to their own conclusions, right? But again, if we were all photographers right now, we're all professional photographers. And I actually pretty much say this in my next video. We're all professional. Okay, why would you or I have to block out somebody's face? Because you want to, keep their identity, so people don't know who they are. And you're trying to hide them, and it makes sense. Maybe they're a whistleblower or whatever. Okay, so now you're taking photos. Why would you have the need to block out anything in a photo, meaning put blur over it, whatever it may be, in a photo? Why would you need to do that? If it's clearly something you don't want the public or anyone else to see. Now we're talking about Mars. We're not talking about here on Earth, like blocking out somebody's license plate so you don't know who they are. We're talking about on Mars now. Why would you feel the need to have to block something out? Even if we didn't find a bloody thing in those photos, it wouldn't matter. Because the fact that they're blocking something out, it's got to be a red flag to anybody. What's going on, Andrew? Andrew Munchkin's in the house. Hey, brother Chris. I'm glad I made it here. I'm glad you did too. Good to see you in there, man. Never even heard of him. James Smart, you said, has Lions Ground ever tried to mess with you or your channel because he's back again? Dude is obsessed with Secure Team 10. Oh, no, I heard about all that mess. He's like, I've seen that video that he made Tyler had made all his videos private because this guy was giving him a hard time. I'd never even heard of him, to be honest with you. Never even heard of him. But I guess because he got flagged from what Tyler says, he got flagged, and his channel got shut down. Now he's trying to do the same thing to him for whatever reason. Who knows? People ever heard of the word live and let live? Just do your thing, man. But no. Somebody's always going to be a thorn in somebody's rear end. Daniel, you said, I believe they would have to have something to clean the dust off of the solar panels, particularly during dust storms. Well, like I said, they actually used to put a low voltage, basically a charge right over the skin. You can look this up. Look over the skin of the solar panels, and it just dust it right off instantly. So it had to be extreme amounts of sand to get it put on there. Now, is that true? Good possibility it did that. Something tells me they said, listen, it's kind of like, it's like your software in your computer, right? You go to Windows XP, I'm sorry, we don't support that anymore. Maybe that's what they're doing. They don't want to support the public. They don't want them to see what's going on with the opportunity. So just tell them it died. That'll be the end of that. And who's going to know? How are we going to prove it whether it did or didn't? I'm not saying it didn't. It's a very good possibility. But who's going to say that it didn't? I can't prove it. Neither one of us can, right? William Johnson said it's true. What you don't see points to the evidence. Exactly. That was smart on your part, Planet 9. Yeah, no doubt, clerks, yeah. So I wish I had that tech in my car to keep it clean. Just blow the dirt right off of it. That would be pretty interesting. Of course, you better not lean against it when you do hit that button. I do. LS6, I do. You said, do you follow, I'm sorry, Brian Forrester, Forster, whatever the hell, because I've seen it pronounced, spelled two ways, rather. Holgar, you said it's no more about pigs. It's about blood and blood out. All right, let's see. I've seen this too. I don't know if you guys have seen this. This is ridiculous. This was like 10 days ago, which is sad. 40% of the Martian surface may support liquid brines seasonally, but they are extremely cold. Whatever. I mean, I've seen, like I said, you see the ground temperatures, they're 61 degrees. So, and it says, well, it still couldn't support life. See, Mars may have been wetter than we thought, but still not habitable. Whatever. You notice how every time they take a step forward, they take 3 steps back? It's like they're just dying to, they're just trying to throw everybody off every now and then. This is the reason why, but they say that brines, which is, again, it says right there, super salty water, it's got it's a lot lower freezing point. So, yeah. It's not likely to freeze, but it can. I think it's crap. Jerry, so we can clearly see that these photos have been changed. What I can't understand is why has no one leaked a photo to show the world the truth? Well, again, these people I'm sure they have gag orders where they can't say anything. I mean, they're pretty much, that's it. When you get onto that job, they say, okay, you sign this. And if you don't, you go to prison for life, and then we throw the prison out. I mean, we throw your room away with you in it. So, I mean, it would not surprise me that, that these people don't say a word. Now, maybe on their deathbed they might. I mean, we've seen a lot of people do that. But at this point, probably not. Unless, of course, you get one of these guys in a ballroom, and they're completely, 3 sheets to the wind. And they start, talking and all kinds of stuff. They probably go, yeah, we don't do that either. Yeah, Tim, the ancients guy, the one that shows all different ancient areas and stuff. Which reminds me, I don't know if you guys have seen this. This is pretty wild. The amount of, let me see if I can find this here. The amount of, I should have it here. Let me see if I can find this. This is wild. It says, ancient constructions defy today's technology, forbidden archaeology. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen this page, but let me just drag this over here from this other screen. Check this stuff out, guys. This is amazing. One in particular, now I don't know if this one's actual real deal right there, but look at this. Are you kidding me? Look at the precision. I'm going to just really zoom into this. Check this out. Are you kidding me right now? It's cool. I mean, when you see this stuff, the precision involved is immense. Let me see here. James, he said, Chris, what do you think about what the Chilean government has said in the Ancient Aliens Season 15, that they are going to disclose anything that they think ET in their airspace from now on? And that I'd love to see. I truly would. I'd love to see that. Steve, what's going on? Steve Pelt says, looks like mandala. Mandala. Well, I mean, it's just when you see these things, look at this. Now, this is India, I believe. This one here. Look, I mean, again, when you look at these things, look at this. It's incredible. They literally built into this mountainside, basically built all this, took all the rubble and stone out of here and built it down to this. So picture just a big mountain, you just dug, and you just started to build that way until you went down? That's like crazy. This video right here. Of course, I can't play it because it is YouTube, and yeah, you know how that'll happen. And we were also talking about, let's see. Let me see here. Let me move this over. Bring that up here. All right, let me do this. Hold on. This thing went black here for a second, but that's okay. Let me find this. Like we all know Praveen. Let me see. Should come back up here. Right here. Praveen Mohan. He says these pillars are not made with chisels and hammers. Advanced ancient technology was used, which is now lost. I hope to rediscover this secret soon. And if you zoom into this, look at these pillars, man. This is crazy. And then when you look down on the detail right here behind them, the bases of these pillars, look at this. That's just crazy how much they did. The work was involved in this thing. Right down here as well. Look at this. You got the carvings back here. That's just crazy. That's pretty good position, precision for people who are just using these little hammers and little stone hammers and stuff like that. Really? I don't believe that's the case at all. I think they're much more advanced than they're saying. Now, I'm not saying this probably couldn't be duplicated today. And even then, it'd probably be a long time to be able to do something like this. Even with the machines we have. Hey, he's on Facebook if you guys, not so much his channel, if you don't follow just his channel, but yeah. It just goes to show you, it's like, what? What is going on here? But a lot of these are just awesome. In fact, this area here was actually on Ancient Aliens as well in India. Well, this is awesome, this right here. Pretty advanced if people are just using stone hammers and junk like that, right? Michael Stock, what's happening? Good to see you in there. I'm just going back up the comments this way here. If anybody's jumped in, I can see who they are. Yeah, Noodles, what you're saying. Launch platform, circuit to transfer Tesla energy. And Steve said a Vimanaport. Yeah, well, a lot of people will say that because, back in, if you look at the Indian Sanskrits and stuff like that, they talked about the Vimanas and, great battles in the sky and all kinds of good stuff like that. What's going on, Kyle? Good to see you there, man. You made it in. Chronicle of Gods. Yeah, we were just talking about that not too long ago. You said NASA, parallel universe, discovery time, running backwards. Wow, absolutely amazing particle finding, research in Antarctica. Yeah, what's actually reversing, it's going out into space, right? So that was pretty interesting. I read up on that yesterday. Pretty cool. Yep, Kyle's in the house. Made it in. Hogar, you said the winged ones are off. I guess you was put off screen called Azazel and Caritas. I don't know if you meant to mean offspring or off screen. Grant, you said, could NASA be lying about the atmosphere on Mars? Is it possible that man could survive without a suit? Yeah, they could. The only difference is it gets extremely cold at night because because the atmosphere is very thin. Then everything just escapes like a what do you call it? You got that thermal radiation just going out back into space, right? So it cools down, gets very cold at night, but that don't mean anything. I mean, again, any one of us could dig underground about 10, 20 feet in the ground and you're completely fine. It'll stay a steady temperature at all the time, and you'd be perfectly fine. So I don't think that would be an issue. And you may need a breathing apparatus. And as long as you're, let me just back this out so it'll be a little clearer. And as long as you're within these magnetic fields on Mars, because they're sporadic, then you're protected from solar radiation. Photography Light and Matic, you said, crap, I forgot you were on tonight. James, you said, man, tell me that there's no help from another advanced civilization in building them unreal structures. No way is that just man-made, as we are supposed to believe. Well, I mean, a lot of them, like, supposedly, the Egyptians were saying, well, we got, help from the overseers from above, and that they did build it, but they were taught and shown how to do this by the observers from above. But then you hear stories where they say, no, this wasn't even ours. The Egyptians came along and just basically moved in because the stuff was there. So there's a little conflicting stories in that. But either way, it's a feat that we couldn't do today. And if we could, how long would it take to do that? It'd be insane. And as heavy as these things are on the land that they're sitting on, these things haven't even really, and if they sank at all, I forget what it is, it's so minuscule that it's not even worth mentioning. It's crazy. All right, Josh D., thanks for stopping in, brother. Good to see you. And he said, sorry, people have to go. Hope to participate the full time next week. I love you all. Respect. All right, man. You do the same. You have a good weekend there, right? Oh, God, you said never mentioned and buried in some Smithsonian undergrounds. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. Let me get rid of this here a minute. All right, let's put this back over here. All right. All right, what time is it, guys? It is Gigapan time. LS6, you said I have to go. Baby's making noise. Be safe, everyone. All right, LS6, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you. Have yourself a good one there. And we'll talk to you soon, all right? Well, there's that too, Tim. You said there seems to be 2 or 3 layers of or periods of construction at Giza. Well, that and the Mayans were the same way. They started from something really small, and all of these other, people would come along. They'd build on top of these, and there's a lot of ancient areas that are the same way, right? Marcus Peters, what's going on? He said, good morning, Chris. Good morning to you. Hammer time. Anybody who hasn't hit the thumbs up and like button, please do so. It just helps YouTube wanting to, basically, I don't know if we want to call it advertise the channel, but they put it on the right-hand side, suggested videos and everything else. The more thumbs up you get, the better it is. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's check it out. This is it right here. Now, this GigaPan was made by Keith Laney, which also does really good work on this particular one. And it's MSL Curiosity from 1077, or Sol 1077. And I'm trying to remember if he's got it marked down here. I'm not seeing it. It's not saying. Okay. But anyway, it's 3/4 of a gigapixel. And it was put on there May 9th, 2020. So this is just recent. And it's a PDS, which is a raw data-derived version of Curiosity's magnificent Sol 1077 panorama. Okay. All right. Let me show you the first thing that somebody had posted on here. Now, this wasn't my find, but I would have found it anyway looking at this. You know how we can be eagle-eyes on this thing. Let me just refresh this. Watch what happens. Tell me this doesn't look weird on this rock. We're going to go ahead and let it do its own thing. This is basically a snapshot. It's going to bring you right in. Okay, check this out. Anybody ever see like wires hanging out of a rock before? Perhaps a couple Q-tips. What the hell? Guys, seriously, what is this? Anybody tell me? Michael Stocky said, I found some remote viewer sessions on ancient Egypt. 3 independent viewers, rather. Also, anti-gravity tech and laser cutting tools. Mainstream archaeology is BS. I'm not even a bit surprised. You know, our past is much more exciting and more advanced than we ever thought. Let's just put it that way, right? I've seen that, James, what you're talking about. He said, Chris, there's a temple in Ethiopia that was built into the ground from just one huge rock and has perfect perfection and a lineage to the sun. Unreal. Yeah. Well, see, a lot of these ancient people actually, they study the stars, right? Because they have nothing better to do. It's not like they can go in and watch TV. But they literally study the stars day after day after day. So this is how they knew, whether it be eclipses or anything like that was going on. They knew all the positions of the stars in the skies and in the heavens as they call it. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff in there. Photographer Light and Magic, he said the rock's got hieroglyphs on it. Marcus, you said it looks like a huge Martian snail, rather. But yeah, I mean, look at these pieces like here, even on the side of this. Look at 1, 2. You got this almost like diamond-shaped thing and this weird thing in the ground with this white piece with like a yellow or tan ball sitting right on top of it. Just this area alone. What's going on there? Move this up here so I can see what the hell I'm doing here. All right. I'll drink to that. All right. You move this bad boy in over here. All right. To me, that's just wild in itself. I mean, again, the wires sticking out, little cables. It looked like Q-tips at first when I first saw it. I was like, what the heck is that? But there you go. Just the weirdest things stick out of rocks, and it makes you wonder, what the heck could that possibly be? These pieces right here. I mean, even when you look at these rocks, now people say, man, well, rocks are going to differ, so how can you say that's not you can't say it's a standard rock because nothing's standard about them, right? Okay, but listen, again, I'm sure a lot of you guys live in mountainous areas, whatever it may be, see rocks. Yeah, you'll see all kinds of different shapes, textures, and everything of rocks. But some of these, come on, look at this. What is that mess? Clearly you can see this has actually been, like photoshopped in or airbrushed. You can see that. Got this weird rock right here. It's got this smooth 90-degree angle right here going around whatever this is right there. See that? Now, it may be nothing. It may be just happen to be the rocks like that. Who knows, right? Planet 9, you said, Chris, those are antennae on a life form that mimics a rock formation. That could very well be. See, we know nothing about it. We automatically assume that, like I said, life's like ours, right? Like ours, or like, you know, we just assume it's like us, but it's not. How about this rock right here, this oval area, right there, with these two small dots right in it? On that last one I did where it shows that, where John Beck had done that structure, it looks like it's on the very edge of that peninsula, that supposed hill sticking out. One guy says to me, he says, well, of course you can have rocks that are round rocks. I went, oh my God. I'm not talking about just a round rock. What's the chance of something being oval in it, cut out like that, and then the other part of that, what looked like a structure, was oval as well? What's the chance of that? It doesn't make any sense. People just come up with this most bizarre stuff. Yeah, of course it can be rounded rocks. Never said that. But to have what looks like a disc, almost a perfect circle with a perfect oval cut into that? I said, show me Mother Nature. Any picture here on Earth that can do that. Now, I'm not saying Mother Nature can't do some crazy stuff, right? But to see that, plus 90-degree angles next to it, and all, yeah. Say something going straight across right here and coming down, almost like a T shape. That's a nice opening in that rock. Notice that it's got a point right behind it. Oh, yeah. I'll be honest with you guys. I think I glanced at this thing 1 minute. I didn't even bother checking this out myself. So anything I see, it's going to be all new to us. Like, look at this right here. This is the way this goes down. Put it right here in the middle. And check that out. Comes down. Almost looks like there's something in the back right there. You can see it standing up. Whatever this thing is, it's something, it's standing up, and they made it look like they just kind of blackened it out. But you can see whatever that thing is, it has a piece that's connected to it. See it? One's very faint here, but it has, looks like a piece of connection to something that's holding that piece up. Look at that. And if you look really carefully, there's a 90-degree piece right here. 90-degree angle piece with something holding this back of this piece up. You see that? What do you guys think of that? James, tell the guy to go to Specsavers. You know, Chris, man. Yeah. Like I said, you can literally just like take their face and put it right next to a rock, and I don't see it. Yeah, Mimi, exactly. Dots and circles everywhere. Now, I mean, I expect to see a lot of crazy things in these photos, right? In other words, rocks, 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 rocks. Don't care about that. We're not looking for rocks. Clearly, we can find an abundance of those here. But on the other side of the token, we can also see that it's not all rocks. And some of these things, if you take a close look, you'll see like they're like transparent. Like I can see right here, there's an actual very faint line right here, right behind the so-called, or the shadowed supposed rock, right there, going back. But it's actually, you can see the square going like this, into, or behind this manipulation, coming down and going over here. There's actually a square to that. Well, pretty damn close. It goes like this here and goes back up. So in other words, the background is still visible through this manipulation. And again, what does this? Has a 90-degree angle. You can see like the sun, looks like it's sunlight shining on that part, and has something holding up the back piece of this. It looks like there's one very faint right here, and then you got the thick one sitting right there. What's the chances of Mother Nature doing that? Ian, you said technological stuff that has been rockified by NASA. Pretty much. Moon Rose, you said Mars is such a destroyed planet. You're not lying there. Pete, you also said there's no rock. Well, again, I mean, just take a look, close look, and you see just the weirdest little things. Just look at this. What is this right here? Is that like some kind of folded piece of metal, paper? What is that right there? Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more. This way we can get to the smaller parts that are in the background. Check this out. Goes up, goes back like this, and comes back down. Looks like it raises up a little bit more over here. Looks like something round right there. See that? Is that paper? Steel? What is that? Is it something else that just happens to have this weird shape to it, laying in the dirt? Crosser 4123, you said they can't rockify everything in the pictures. They must know people like you, Chris, will find the unrockified anomalies. Well, at least, again, on first inspection, you look at it, okay, it's just rocks. And again, you just move on. You don't think nothing of it. But as you get into this, the more stuff you see. Oh, yeah, that rock's not fake. Come on now. Look at this. What? Look at these. Wow. Just look at the smallest things. Take a look. Let me do this. Let me get my mug out of the way so you can see the whole thing here. There we go. Now, what is this right here? A bunch of pieces sticking out of this so-called rock. It's a grass. He said, Mimi, and then go, Chris. It's like, it's Photoshop time to undo the rockifying. This chat rocks. Oh, yeah. I thought you meant rocks too, right? Limey Watcher, you said, Chris, you do good work. Very interesting. Well, I mean, it's all about just scrutinizing the photo, right? I'm not doing anything special that you guys can't do, right? I just think, if we observe it a little bit closer, take a look at the rocks. And I've seen this years ago. This is the reason why I started scrutinizing these photos. Because it's clearly they're manipulating these things. That's kind of a funky shape for a rock right there. Not sure what that is. That's a funky looking shape in there. See that? Look at this right here. It's got these weird markings in this. See, there's 1, 2. Has something right there too. Almost looks like a little faded out letter P. See that? What do you guys suppose that is? James, you said, Chris, man, there's cuts and slots cut perfectly in, out of plenty of those. Yeah, well, pretty much. Adam, you're right. You said they say with Mars why it's orange is because of the rust and iron. Those gigapans look pretty clear or rust and stuff. Just saying. Well, the thing is, I don't think most of these are the actual colors because, again, I've said multiple times that a lot of this stuff has manipulation, and you could tell once you get into the photo, like in other words, you get all this orange crap off of it, suddenly you can see like different colors, like greens, like in one area you see like greens, browns, blues, and everything else. That's just layers of manipulation. And again, my next video is going to show that too. Look at this. It's like 4 slots, but there's 2 things in these. There's one, like it's, see that? The way that it's like almost looks like a steel piece or something like that, or something shiny. Something in this one, and then these 2 slots are empty. But look at the way perfectly spaced apart kind of thing. What do you guys think of that? That's neat. This is pretty cool too. I've seen this. This is cool. Whoop. Got something coming in. Whoop. Now this is the ISS frequency, guys. Let's see if something comes in. Check this out. Look at this right here. Nice round cut. See that? Very faint at the top. Check that out. See that? What do you guys think of that? Let me mute this here. Don't get too darn loud, but you can see that cut right there. Seriously? Yeah, it's a rock. I always see round cuts in my rocks. Again, this is the first time I'm looking at this as well, guys. This right here. Almost looks like very reflective pieces on the ground right there. See that? Mimi, guys, says entered the chat. I want to see if I'm picking them up very, very little. I can pick them up from good half of the United States. I can still pick them up. Sounds like they're way back in there, though. I'll see if they come up, because if they do come close here, we will pick them up. How about this nice bright rock? Half of it anyway, right there. Sticking right out. Look at the 90-degree angles on that. And these pieces right here under it. Look at this crap. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is that? You guys ever seen anything like that? That's interesting. All right, don't mind me, guys. I'll just answer an email here. But what do you guys think of that? Well, to me, the blue color may actually be something that's in the photo. Now you can see right here where it's stitched right there. See that? So that's pretty interesting. But you can see these pieces 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like almost another fifth one over here. Thank you. Let me see here. Just take this out. All right. Yeah, when you see like something like this piece here, this flat piece, yeah, you go, yeah, Mother Nature can make that. Okay, but that's just above these other pieces. Is that possible? I don't think so. Something sticking straight out of this, almost metallic. You see where it's brightest right there in the middle of it, as opposed to way up. See that? This right here. Look at these pieces right here. Like this is literally framework of something. See that? There's one. Let's say there's a space in between there. You got this other piece. And there's something inside that. See that? Something right underneath here. You can see it's white right underneath this so-called rock. Look at this. Look at this little white piece coming like this. Little thin piece. This is Sol 1077. Photography Light Magic. That's from Keith Laney. I'll give you the links to this. If you don't, well, you can look this up yourself. It's MSL Curiosity Sol 1077. Just put Keith Laney there, and you'll be fine. Look at this right here. Ian, you said a mouthful. You said, do not try to understand the fake rocks. That's impossible. Instead, only realize the truth. There is no rock. And, you know, Pete, you even saying, damn fake sand hiding the debris. Yeah. And William, you're also correct. You said, I look at these pictures knowing that it's mostly manipulated. Yeah. That's why, again, you know, here's a perfect example. Look at a little piece of white right inside this so-called rock. Now, is it something that just happens to be there? It just happens to be highly reflective? Or is it something they just went over whatever the hell is sitting here? I think the latter. I think there's something else. Look at this. Perfect example. Almost looks like a complete circle in this rock. And whatever this way this is designed, or whatever this is right here. Something else right here. Look at it. I mean, you can just see how they try to make this look like a rock. Look at this piece right here. This piece sticking out to the right of it. Look at this fake piece of crap. Look, look at that. Oh, yeah, that's real. Look at this. These are just awesome. These three right here in the middle. Frank Miklos, he said, I wonder if NASA's watching us. I bet they are one of the 112 people logged in right now. Yeah, can you imagine that? They're all sitting around in the CGI department like, oh my God, dude, you seen that? Whack! Whacks the other guy upside the head. What the hell's wrong with you, man? You didn't block that? That would be pretty funny. That would be amusing. But it's again, it's like you just don't know what you're going to find in there. I mean, is this a rock? Looks like a distorted statue face. This rock right here. Looks like it has a seam right here. Nice 90-degree at the top. Not the bottom so much as the top. And it's got like this rectangular opening at the top of it. Looks like a mini brick right here, or whatever this is right here. Look at the 90-degree angle sitting right next to it, right there. It's a junkyard, guys. That's all it is. It's a debris field. They're on a reconnaissance, basically, you know, mission right here. Look at all these things right here. Is it possible it's rock? Yeah. But it's the way this thing's squared off. Whatever this is in the back. See this right here going whoop right into the ground. It looks like a dark circle. Straight, pretty much straight edge here. And then look at all these pieces. That just doesn't look natural. At least in my book. What else we got here? Yeah, Ian, you got that right. If NASA's watching, they're seeing where they effed up. Pretty much. All right. An odd little piece sticking up. That could very well be rock. Other little pieces sticking out. Look at this piece. This is pretty funky. Look at that. See what they tried to hide this right here? Look at the detail in this. Nice smooth 90-degree. One faintly underneath it. Looks like kind of like a pipe kind of thing. Type thing. I was going to say kind of and type at the same time. Right here. There's something right there. Oh, yeah. No, they don't blur anything out here. What's wrong with you guys? Oh. I don't even argue with people that just come by and they just come by the channel. Oh, this guy don't know what he's talking about. I don't even bother arguing with them. Because anybody who's, even if they'd done their own research into these photos and looked around, they would see this themselves. Look at this. What the heck is this at the bottom of the photo? Look at this. And you can see where it's like brown, like right around the edge. See that? Got a 90-degree angle. Something right here. How is that even remotely natural? Look at this. Both of them. I'm going to back out a little bit. James Spot, that's a good question, man. He said, do you think we regular people will see any unredacted photos in our lifetime? I sure hope so. I really do. You're right about that, Dale Rogers. You said gold is the best conductor of electricity. Absolutely. But, I mean, what do you guys think of this stuff here at the bottom? Look at that. And these rib type things right here. See this? 1, 2, 3, 4. And looks like it has another couple of them behind that. What do you guys think of that? Look at this. Even right here, same thing. All these pieces. That's some funky looking rocks. I'll tell you that. Looks like some kind of opening in the ground there. Right here. Oh, they definitely loused this part of the photo up. Oof. Man, talk about messing with your eyes. Here we go with these pieces again, down here in the bottom. What is this? See that? And it's like they're trying to bury it right here. They're trying to paint over it, but look at this. What is that? There you go, Adam. Do not try to bend a spoon. Just realize there is no spoon to bend. James, you said, no way natural formation, man. Come on, like. Smash that like button, guys. 128 is watching. 103 thumbs up. William Johnson, you said a lot of those rock sheets were probably sheets of walls of pavement slabs. Could very well be. See, I was thinking the same thing, Tim. You said right where the frame ends. Well, what's funny about it, yeah, you can see that right there. See how deep it goes into it, though? See that? You can see a little bit of the white there, too. Right here. Look at the way this thing's go into this. Something was there, man. It almost looks like bamboo lined up. See that? And, of course, we had it over here, too. Right there. Funny thing about it, I thought it was just the edge of the photo, but it doesn't. Look at it. It goes like this and still goes down like it's been squared off. See that? 90-degree angle right there. Almost looks like either raw pipes or bamboo or some crazy stuff. Whatever that may be. Steve, you said the shadows are facing the wrong way. Well, keep in mind this is a pan, so we might have multiple days thrown into one pan. So you might have, even though this one in here is Sol, whatever it is, what is it, 1077, right? Up to, and you can see dash, and it doesn't show the number. So this could be up to 1080, and the shadows will differ. So just be aware of that too. It's like this friggin' hole in the ground, something sticking right out of it. Interesting right there. This piece is in here. Marcus, he said, who would thumbs down? Oh, that's the biggest fans of this channel. Gotta love them. Look at this right here. This is pretty cool. Not sure what to make of that thing. It actually looks like it has something real thin sticking out of the top of it. Not sure what the heck that is. That's part of the rock. That is goofy looking. Hodgson Crash, he said, Marcus, NASA. I love how they do these. If they don't want you to see something, they'll put this like the exposure really high in these rocks, so they're doing it themselves, whatever this may be. Crazy how they do that. You can bet there's something hidden in there, and you just can't see the details to it. I've done that many a times. We can actually bring down the brightness of it, and you'll see like details in it. Of course, you can't really make them out because they're doing what they're doing here, right? Look at this. It almost looks like sections of slabs of rock. See this right here? Another one right here. These going up like this. Another one on the side of it. What's this boxed out thing right here? Look at this. 90-degree angle right there. Nice, and it looks like it's been cut out like a frame type thing. See that? Nice hole in the ground right there. Wow, if you look at that, it almost looks like there's actually something round right in there. There's something right there. It almost looks round. Right inside this cutout. Right there. Uh-oh, 420's on aliens on the case. He said, I'm from the MIB and I have you all under surveillance. Uh-oh, we're all in trouble now. There's something right here too. It's gray. Right there, at least half of this thing is gray. You got this piece over here, almost looks like it's right there. It's almost round. It has a dark circle in the middle of it. You can actually see this thing continues on over here. You can see that right there very faintly under this area. They try to just color this in. Looks like it goes up. It goes around like this here and goes underneath this into this darker area. Yeah. Oh, this right here. What is that? 1, 2, it's like 4 layers. And look at they exactly stop in the same area. Whether this one's rounded here at the top or not, this one here is like, it seems like it stops at the same length and stops right there. See that? Here we go with the brightness crap again. Oh yeah, these are rocks. What's this one? Got a toupee on? Almost looks like it's got a round circle or oval shape right here on the outer part of that. Something sticking right out of here. Almost like a bent up pipe or some sort. Oh, look at this. That's something new. Come right out the center of this thing. Well, not the center, but the top of this piece. Straight out. Back out a little bit. See what else we can find in here. I mean, even when you look at this, guys, it looks like something's been blown to pieces, right? It just looks like something's been, like, just decimated right there. What is this way in here? Oh, it's another flat piece right here. Oh, that is. Well, actually, it's shadows in there. Okay. But that shadow doesn't seem to go way in there, though. That's what I'm kind of confused about. It's only a little cutout right there, this rock. And it's covering it right there, but yet this goes way underneath. From the angle of it, doesn't look like it'd be coming through like that, but that's a little odd. This rock here's got like little slots in it or something. It's got something that's separating right there. See that? Right there. Interesting. Alright, let's see. A nice little hole and triangular hole in this rock. Tell you what, these people from CGI department probably get paid some serious cash, because to have to, can you imagine have to go through a lot of this if it is in fact parts and pieces and stuff that's intelligently made laying on the ground? These little bits and pieces here. This would be an extremely long time to do this. There's something rounded right here. You can see it underneath here. See this? And it's white, whatever it is. You can see it right there at the very tip of it, going like this here. See that? Something sticking out right here. Look at these pieces. Look at this one sticking out of this rock. Now that may be just a feature, meaning just the way the rock's formed, and I'll go with that. But look at this piece right here. Come on. Who looks at this and said that's a real rock? Come on. Look at this piece of trash. There's something else under here. You can see it's white. Got a separation and a little corner of a white piece right here. And this looks like it's completely airbrushed. This is just a new texture they're starting to use now. They've been using this for a while now. It's just complete crap. Must be a new way that they can do this, and it's a lot quicker. Saves them time. I've showed you, it looks like strata on the side of these rocks, and yet you can see what it looks like. They just went like right over the whole side of the thing with like a paintbrush kind of thing. That's funky. He's got a split right down here in the middle. Not sure what the hell this is. It's got a point to it right there at the very tip of it, though. See that? Not sure what to make of that. Nor this. Little pieces sticking out of rocks. Like I said, just take a look at the smallest little things like this right here. This happens to be like this real bright piece right here. We have no idea what this stuff is. Another one in the background here at the upper left. But look at these little pieces in here. This is pretty funky. James, thanks for the support, man. That's funny. Let's buy the guys at CGI a cloth for their glasses, man. But like I said before, is it possible that they're doing this stuff purposely, right? And so that, again, the people that want to find this stuff can actually find it? Again, James, thanks for your support, man. Abso303, what's going on? He says, good day, all. What's happening? What's going on there, Geoff Crummy? Good to see you in there. Some of the way these things are, just these pieces like this here, especially this kind of silvery piece in the back, almost looks like it has something round right there in the middle of that. Look at this thing. Something sticking right out there. It's like a rust color. Like it looks like pot black, but it has like a rusted piece right there at the end. Back a little bit. Clear it up a little bit. Yeah, this isn't a rock in the back here either. That's crap. Complete crap. I think most of these rocks are not even rocks at all. And if they are, they're part of stones of some structure or something like that, because it just doesn't make sense. Look at this. Even this looks absolutely man-made or intelligently made. Like a round circle, like a oval slit type thing going down here. Look at these pieces right here. 1, 2, 3. Something coming down right there. Like a lot of little pieces there stuck in there. Like we showed earlier, or like I showed you guys earlier, where you have, you know, again, cold, barren, lifeless planet, just cold. Well, they claim it's super cold, but it's not. You can see, I showed you guys the temperatures from both the InSight and the Curiosity rover, and I gave you the links. If you guys still need them, let me know. I can give you those again. So you can actually see the day-by-day temperatures, and you can go back a little bit on them, especially the Curiosity one. You can go way back. It's just cool to have. And if the temperature itself is pretty warm on the ground, and you're close to the ground, it's like yourself. If you were a sunny day here, it doesn't matter where you're at. Sunny day, it heats up the ground. You know how the ground can be really warm if you try to walk barefoot on it. If you say, wow, this is really hot, but then go about 50 feet in the air, how much cooler would the air be? Because you're not next to something that's radiating heat. So you would literally, you feel a difference in air temperature compared to the ground, right? Look at this. I mean, look how fake this looks. It almost looks like hieroglyphs when you first see it. But look how fake that looks. Like it's been painted in there. I've seen this other thing before. It reminds me of Mr. Magoo. You guys remember that commercial? I mean, that cartoon? Look at this. Look at the slotted eyes. The nose, the mouth. I've seen this before. People have done this before and had it on Facebook. And they've done videos on it and everything else. But check that out. Looks like he's got an air on the right-hand side of his head. Oh yeah, that's a cluster of rocks. And I'm the Pope. It's like this. Look at the shape of this. Almost like it looks like part of like a petrified tree. The bark from it. See it? Almost has that color like that too. We can change the color of that if you want. See if we can do that. Let's see. Let's see if we can put a different color. See if that'll help. Pick anything that's darker, right? See if that'll help a little bit. And like I said, I got this thing pretty darn big on the screen. That's what doesn't make any sense. When I'm in this, it's really, really small. I don't know if there's any better, guys. Is it any better? I would love to see some unedited photos. It would be insane. Some of the stuff we'd see. I got a piece sticking out right here, coming down. The shape of these things here. This is funky looking rock. Like this. Almost a smooth 90. Goes over to here, comes back up. Another 90 right there, goes across. Yeah, this was something else at one time. No doubt in my mind. Look at this. I just noticed this. What is this? Almost looks like framework under here. Look at this. Thick piece right here. Put it right in the middle of the screen. Thick piece. It goes off in like a shape like a T, almost like piping underground. Whatever that is. Not sure what to make of that. Think the yellow stand out better, guys? Let me see here. Let's see, we can go into that. I said the brightest one seemed to be the better one, so I'm going to stick with that one if I can. Again, we've got this piece here. Let's back way out here a minute. See, in the shade, we can actually see there's little white pieces under here. 1, 2, 3. Almost looks like it's in a row. There's more of these pieces here, but these might be digital artifacts where they're trying to block out the edges of whatever this is. No, they don't blur anything. What are you guys talking about? That's kind of funky, isn't it? Look at this thing. Look at this rock in the middle here. Just notice this too. What did I just see that? Look at this. Looks like this piece. It looks like it's going right into this square opening right there. See that? Looks like it's going like this and trailing into that. Is that what you guys are seeing too? That's what it looks like I'm seeing. This little gold piece right here. Not sure what that is. It's got a little shadow there, it looks like. I thought there was something there. It looked like there was two of them. Whatever they are, they got these two. 1, 2, something right there. That might be just simple rocks, no big deal. But something tells me like 99% of the stuff we're seeing is not even rocks. There's that special sand right there. Again, look at the difference between clarity here and this right over here. You know, why are we seeing such a difference? Like this area here happens to be blurred out, but look at the way this thing has this opening, this rectangular opening in this rock. But I don't think it's rock. You can actually see it's actually got this, it's almost like a hull of something or some kind of structural something or other, because look at this. It goes down like this, goes around, comes up to the back, has a smooth 90, goes across in the back there, comes back down another smooth 90, and of course you don't see the whole side of that one. But look at the stuff inside it. Can't make out what it is. It's blurred out. Of course, we wouldn't probably know what it is anyway, but what we can do is probably speculate on it. But this nice block right here or something right there. Nice and straight. You got 90-degree angle on the top. You got one going on the side. Just see this gray block right there. Or it's just something, just happens to be this straight piece, thin piece sticking right out of the sand. One of the two. It kind of looks like a block, though. But you know how shadows can play games with your eyes. Let's say something round right here. It at least has a rounded face to it. At least the front of it is. See that right there? Has some little piece coming right there. What I find interesting is that it looks like it's rounded in the front. This piece is coming off the front, and then this very side of this almost looks like it comes down straight, has a little angle, and comes down to this piece here. You guys see that? Like I said, nice and round in the face. And then right under the left-hand side of that rounded piece is a straight down piece and comes down at an angle and meets up with this piece. Almost like this was actually contoured for this middle piece, this rounded piece. Even on the right-hand side, you can see that it's rounded. What do you guys think of that? Let's say something way back in the right here. Lighter pieces, it look like there's two of them, almost rectangular in shape. Like a very thin line in the back. Something right here. You can see it's got a lighter color to it. Starts off as a lighter color. Black at the very end. Kind of like a tannish color right there. Goes like this, goes up, straight over, and back down. And complete trash in the back here. Nice and, man, I talk about messing with your eyes. Look at this right here. Whatever these things are, it has a shadow on it, so clearly these look probably above this other rest of this rock, or whatever this is. That one kind of looks like it's got some kind of hieroglyph or something on it. But knowing the way these rocks are, they just have that appearance of this. Check this out. This is neat. I just saw this. This looks pretty cool. Notice how there's opening right here on this. Comes straight up on the right. Nice smooth 90. Comes back down on the other side, on the left-hand side. But take a look at the real, barely noticeable round piece. Well, it looks like a teardrop shaped looking piece. Right here. With a dark center to it. See that? It's coming straight down, circular right here, around here. Then you don't see the back side of it, but coming straight down, circular. But this piece that is actually housed inside, or whatever this is, I'm not sure what to make of that. Oh yeah, look at this piece of trash. Look at this. Almost has this round pipe type shape to it. See that? And something sticking straight out of it. Looks almost rectangular, almost like a 2x sticking out of this hole right here, this pipe. Right there. And you get this piece sticking right out of it. Very, very, not very clear, but check that out. Dean Sadley, he said you see a lot of 5s. Yeah, you'll see that. Oh, or S's themselves, right? A lot of people have said that. X15, I didn't even see you jump in there. Said, there's strange things out there, Chris. I promise you. Oh, yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Holly Noel, you said so much to see. You're right about that. There's a bunch of it in there. I'm not sure which one you were talking about, the black spot, because I'm trying not to stand this too long. But I mean, as far as like, want to get a lot of this in if we can. But again, we got that, looks like that rectangular pot, and it almost looks like I said a piece of wood crammed into this friggin' hole, or this pipe, whatever that is. Yeah, pieces like this. Look at this. White piece almost looks like a piece of white steel. Let's suppose it's not even, you know, intelligently made. Let's suppose it's actually organics. Okay, why would it still be there? According to NASA, nothing's lived in this for millions of years. So it should be all dust and rocks. Nothing else. You shouldn't see anything Even if it was let's say it was some kind of root from a tree or a branch or whatever the hell it may be, why would it still even be there? Should be nothing there at all, right? What is this here? Check this out. Now, this right here alone, you can see this part. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I'm looking at this thing, and the more I look at it, I'm like, wow. You just, oh my God. It's round. You can see this going like this. It literally comes down on the side of it. There's something else sticking up right here. And I'm going to take this cursor out of the way in a second. But check this out. It's round. Whatever this is has some height to it. It's round right here. Has two pieces sticking out of it, but because they blurred it, you don't see the depth of it. But round here in the back, look at the way this comes straight through this manipulation. You can see the gold piece coming straight through this manipulation. So this is rounded in the face, straight piece coming through this manipulation. You got what looks like almost like a bent pipe or something right there coming out of this. You can see the black hole right to it, or the end of it. Maybe the opening to that pipe or whatever that is. Check that out. Can you guys actually see that manipulation? And this piece through it. Let me just go ahead and center this again. I'll zoom in a little more. Problem with zooming in so much, it really distorts the heck out of it. But check this out. You can see the gold. It's going straight through this manipulation. And again, it looks like we got this pipe sticking out of here. It's like curved like this. Has an opening right there. There's something right here you can see very, very slightly, but it's rounded. Appears to have two things sticking out of it. And it's round. It's pretty high, too. You guys see that? Yeah, this stuff, it just stands right out, man. Again, some of this is really hard to see. They've done a really good job at this. And trying to pull some of this out is like insane. And this is, guys, I'm not doing anything to this photo. Some people, oh, yeah, he's doing all kinds of things. He's making this, you know, he's making this stuff. And no, I'm not. You can see it right here. I'm not doing anything. A lot of times if I enhance, it's just lines, just to bring it out even more so. Look at this right here. Straight down. Look at the way this thing's cut right here. And it's underneath this other layer. It's almost like this has a skin over the actual structure, if you will. Like, if you could stand on top of like a dirt mound, and suddenly you were digging, and you pull something out of there. Like, in other words, you hit something solid, and there's a frame under it, like a white frame, like we're seeing here. So the outer skin, and then, of course, you've got this here, right? What's going on there, Frank? Appreciate your support, man. He said, smash that like button for Chris. Bam. Hammer time. Another piece almost looks like right there. Like you can see this trash right here, but look at this piece. Nice and straight. Not sure what to make of that. Even this is going like this. Goes across, comes back down. Has this, what looks almost like a triangular chip out of it or something. See that? Right there. Man, the amount of crap they do to these photos. Look at this right here. What is that? Whew. Here's some pieces right here, right inside this ground. And they overexposed this. I'm not sure how they do this, but check this out. You can see something's right here. Pretty straight there on the side. Same thing on the right-hand side, but it's got something going up and over it. And look really carefully. You can see something, this part of this going just like this. Up into this tan manipulation or this cover. Look at this. That thing branches off. Pierre, what's going on? You said, I'm late, but I made it. What's up, everybody? What's going on? Pierre McClarty. Good to see you in there, man. I think you're right. Who just said that? What'd you just say? Looks like lava beds. Somebody said that and it just jumped on me, so I'm trying to see what the hell is. Oh, right there. Alan, you said, looks like ancient lava beds to me. And I think you may be right. Part of that may be. Or if it's melted rock from an explosion or whatever. Dean, you said, thanks, Chris, for the best hobby ever. Oh, yeah, this is awesome stuff. Again, you want to find it? You will. You'll see what's in these photos. I gotta, at some point, what is this right here? Oh, I thought it was something else. You have to believe that with that many people working in the CGI department, that they would not miss a beat. None of this should be visible. You know what I'm saying? You would think none, but yet there's bits and pieces and stuff that they thought would be hidden and you wouldn't be able to see. And clearly you can see it. Look at this right here. Pretty funky the way those rocks are, huh? This is pretty interesting too. This brown piece in the back here goes up in the back, comes straight around, comes back down. Looks like it has this little cutout. And appears to be some kind of piece coming like this from the back of it on top, right to the front of it. See that? What do you guys suppose that is? Yeah. Pretty interesting. And you look at this thing, you can see whatever this thing is. I'm not sure what these white pieces are, but they're being, like, they covered the face of them somehow. And look at this piece coming straight down, up, and then back down, right there. Almost like a small piece of some kind of tubing coming out of that thing. It's right there. Comes down, slopes up like this here, and then back down. That's pretty interesting. Cloakstorm, you're not alone in that. Trust me. He said, man, I would love to give what I'd give to be able to have a clear look on Mars. Believe me, we all feel you. Because, yeah. Bring that back out a little bit. Yeah, sometimes they do a really good job on these things where you can't really pull much out of it. And then there's times you're going to look at some of these pans and bam, this stuff is everywhere. Here's a perfect example. This is white again. Look at the line to it. 90-degree angle. Goes across here. And of course it gets mixed right here. You can see it going up here. Actually, you can see it. Goes like this in the back. Comes across down here real. Yeah, it's very hard to see line right there on the side. 90-degree angle, like I said, going up and over. Look at the pieces that are in here. Oh, wow. I didn't even see this. This is neat. Almost again, we got the straight piece right here. It's in the blur, but right here, it's going like this. going straight up. But look at this piece on top. It goes over it and then back down. But check it out. It goes into the gray area as well. See that? Piece starts right there. Goes across this flat. I'm going to call it like some kind of strapping. But it goes, you see right there. Left-hand side. Goes down to here. Picture a ruler, right? Just kind of, this is the one end of it. And the back end of it's over here. Then you got this piece right there going across it. Back down. And it doesn't stop. It continues to go down to this gray area. So what I'm saying, they use all these different colors to mask it so you cannot see this stuff. But clearly there's something there. And that doesn't look natural to me. These pieces right here. What the heck are those supposed to be? And this piece sticking up has this... I don't know if this is some kind of weird opening type thing, but that's standing up, and you got these pieces right here. That's kind of weird cut out. See that? It almost looks like, like I said, like this is a skin, and what they've done, they just put this, what's the word I want to use, like a texture over the whole skin to make it look like it's sand, but you can see like cutouts, and you can see things inside there. Almost like this is a giant skin over whatever's in the ground. Hell, they could be driving over structures that are buried in the ground. How do we know? Richard Mortimer, what's going on? You said morning. That's right, you are ahead of us in time, no doubt. See this white piece underneath this rock in the shadow? See the white piece right here? But look at the shape of this, see? Looks like it goes all the way to the end here. Look at this. It's been really been brushed over. There's pieces coming off it, one of the two, but you can see the line of it going like this. Comes out like this. See this nice straight edge? It's pretty clean. Whatever this thing does, goes like this here, comes around, goes like this, and all of a sudden you can see the white part of it. The rest of it has a texture over it they threw over it. In fact, this thing looks like it goes like this. You can see the corner, goes over here, this nice edge, goes over to this piece, goes back over. Looks like it goes like this and then dives down. You guys see that? And it's white at the very end of that too. James, you said, Chris, man, you're painting over, out over plenty of evidence in this surface, man. Trust me. Yeah, it's just so much you need to see, guys. Just, I mean, that's why I tell people, just, you know, don't believe me. Just have a look at this stuff yourself. I said, I always thought that this stuff looked like a skin over something, because you always see like what looks like openings, and there's always something inside the openings. I'm not sure what they are or what it is, but like this right here. Let's say part of it's torn up, and you get something right there. Look at this. In the ground. You got this nice straight line right here. Look at this. Look at this rock in the back. This supposed rocks. I'm not sure what this is. Let's check this out. This white piece right here, got a nice straight piece. So it looks like it's kind of bent right there in the middle. You see, it kind of goes around like this here. You can see the bottom edge of it right there. Got a space in between. It looks like, or at least it looks darker. Got this thin piece in the middle. Looks like it's kind of like almost like an oval shape to this thing. And whatever that is right there. And again, they threw this texture over it and color and every other darn thing. Let's see here. Oh, look at this thing. Kind of odd. Right in the ground there. A little piece above it. Looks like a little smooth piece. Of course, you can't make out what that is. That's kind of odd. Has this, looks like it has a shadow underneath this piece, but look at the line of it. It goes like this. This real faint line. Comes around. Oh, actually, it has the whole piece right here. Look at this. Comes around like this here. I just noticed this now. Thin line. Check it out. It keeps going. Right there. Real faint. Comes down. Goes across. You can't see it right here because it's other supposed rock, but you can just about see it. It's probably straight. See that? Comes around. And like I said, it's doing this here. See that? Real faint. Dark piece. Looks like it has a shadow, or it's a round piece under it. Not sure. It's hard to tell. It could be just a shadow. I know a lot of you guys have said, man, we started really scrutinizing the crap out of these photos every time you look at them now. And that's what you should be doing. Because even I've had people email me, man, you know, I never used to really look into these photos. Now that I do, oh my God. Here's a perfect thing. What the hell is that? I just seen this. It kind of looks like it's rounded. See this? Right here. Comes down. You can see the piece of it going like this. It almost looks like it's concave, like this is like this here. Yeah. Like it's a shell of something right there. Comes up. You can see the back of it like this. Or the edge of it comes down like this here. Comes down and it looks like again, because you can see the shadow of it. Like this part's bent over, like it's like coming over the top or the middle section, as you can see, like it's shadowed. Like this is some kind of weird housing to something. See that? That's not flat, whatever that is. That's a casing or something. Something that come off something. I don't want to blow your brains off there, William. You said, Chris, you're putting me in what is it? Overload? As you said, Chris, 1,000 times, why are they hiding anything at all? And that any of the photo itself tells us something is wrong with what we are being told by NASA. Yeah, well, pretty much. Like I said, they've done a great job to really... See, when they first started off, you go back to the earlier sols, right? It looks nothing like this. The texture of these rocks, the hills look nothing like this. Why? Because they probably weren't in an area yet that had an abundance of things that they didn't want you to see. Now that there is, they come up with a better or faster way to try to hide what's in these photos. And the best way to do it is do something more, a lot quicker, to be able to do that. And, you know, so that they got a different texture altogether. You don't see this in the earlier sols. You don't see it at all. There's bits and pieces. What is this here? Look at this. What do you suppose that is? Got a little round circle right there, darker circle. It's right underneath this piece. Another piece sticking right out of the ground right there. I'm not sure what that is. Something right here. You can see they put texture all over this. But if you look, you can see the bits and pieces of white right underneath this. Like this whole thing right there. Bits and pieces sticking up. Not sure what to make of that. Whatever it is, it's got this weird edge to it. See this right here? Looks like it's coming back like this straight. Goes over to here real faintly. Right there, it's got this smooth 90 degree. Comes like this here. This looks like it's going into this piece. Look at the way this thing's cut out as well. See that? And whatever that is right there. But I can see it straight right here in the back. Coming over and coming down like this here. Too bad these pans weren't just a little clearer. That would be awesome. Got this whiter piece right here, almost like this smooth triangular shape. One dark circle, another faint one right there. Something that's got like a half round piece right there. And that's right here. What do you guys make of this? Piece coming down. This looks like steel to me. 1, 2. Looks like it's symmetrical. 1, 2, 1 on each side. Kind of looks like a little piece sticking out right there. And you can see sunlight in between these, so clearly this is not solid. Looks like pieces of steel or some kind of whatever this may be. It does not look natural. Another brighter piece laying here on the ground. Right there. This one's coming right off the ground, straight out. And it has a shadow in there. Look at it. Look at the way that shadow's cut out too. And the piece right there, like triangular shape. Got this white straight piece right there. And look at the way this thing's sitting in here. Look at this. It's another weird cutout kind of thing. You can see it's been airbrushed right here, because you can still see the actual object through it. Literally coming like this here. You can see that perfectly. Not sure what to make of this, but you can see something inside. There's 2 round white pieces in there, inside this piece. Just crazy things, guys. You never know what the hell to make out of them, but it's just some of the things you just go, okay, I can see rocks, and I'll even go with rocks, but then there's some things you just go, no, clearly this is something much different. Yeah, like I said, we seen this one in the very beginning. Come on. That's no rock. And some of the pans we've seen, guys, some of these things, you just go one thing after another. Oh my God, that's just not natural. Parts, whatever the heck they may be, intelligently made, whatever they may be. I'm okay with rocks on the ground. That doesn't bother me in the least bit. Look at this. Is that really a rock? Is that solid? Or is that airbrushed? I'm going to go with airbrushed. Got a buddy of mine who's actually a professional photographer. He's worked with Photoshop for years. I says, oh my God. He said, not only is this CGI'd, but man, it's such a piss poor job. I mean, you can just see the way they've done it. Not sure what to make of that. Look at this right here. Thin piece coming down. Right there. David Morgan, you said, I don't know if it's my imagination, but I see so much more in these pictures like it's 2 pictures in one. There you go. There's an overlay on top of these things. And what you're seeing a lot of times is, like they said, they'll try to disguise a rock. And what you'll do is you'll actually see through the actual rock. Now, how is that possible? You shouldn't see through a rock. Look at this. What is this piece right here? Looks like bent up steel right here. Going like this here. What they've done here, you can see where they try to put like a light brown, but you can actually still see this piece right here going like this. coming around. But check this out. What is that? No idea. This piece here looks like it's been carved out. Nice separation. It looks like it's symmetrical. Almost looks like it does it. There's no way of knowing this though. But by the way this is doing this, almost simulates this right-hand side. What do you guys think of that? What is this here? Pieces right here. I'm not sure what to make of that. It's kind of blurry. It's kind of hard to tell what it is. I love how you got this rock and it's like, look at these pieces. Almost look like mechanical in nature. See that? How do you have this nice smooth rock looking like this and all of a sudden, look at this. That's crazy. All right, Tim, good seeing you, man. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you. We're going to be closing this out anyway. It's been awesome. Look at this. Nice white piece right here. Nice 90-degree angle. And, of course, you can just barely see it right here. This has been pretty interesting. This one's not as, packed with the stuff we've seen before, but nonetheless, some good stuff in here. Oh, this rock's got a smile with some teeth. No, I'm kidding. But you can see this opening and it's got white pieces in it. Like they didn't fully take this all out. Look at this. What kind of rock does that? And you can see where they've done this. Look at this. Look at the edge of this paint job here. Look at this. Comes over. Comes up like this here. But you can clearly see something white going like this here. Going from front, or from the back rather, to the front. And you can see right here where they actually airbrushed this. I agree with you, Mags. You said, I think they insult our intelligence. I mean, it's so blatant and they still lie. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, they're not going to admit to it. That's why it's up to us to just read between the lines to see if we can find anything of any value in these. Clearly not a rock. Look at this right below it, though. Look at this. Looks like a shape of an L type thing. See that? You can just see that right there. Another smooth 90-degree. Something white right there. You can just see this. The light coming around this rock, shining right here. Coming like this here. See the inside part of it? Look at this. What is this mess? Oh, that's where my sandwich bag went. Oh, what is that? That's freaky. That's interesting right there, man. All right, guys, we're going to jump out of this. As always, awesome, awesome Hangout. You guys are the best. Man, I just can't say it enough, you know? It's like, I just love doing these. I mean, I don't dread tomorrow. I do dread tomorrow because I got to work, which kind of sucks. But if any of you guys are new here, you just happen to want to check this out, and you're, you haven't subscribed, please do so. Just like it, subscribe it, and just stay tuned to what we've got. Hit the little notification bell on the right-hand side of the subscribe button, and you'll see the new videos coming out. Because like I said, I should have one mid-morning Sunday coming out. I'm going to try to get that out because I got some work I'm going to be doing on the outside deck. Get some things done. I'm going to go ahead and... Come on. Scare you guys again. Put my face back in there. Oh, I mean, there we go. There you go. So, yeah, I mean, look forward to that because I've got that coming out. And another, like I said, it's so blatant, it's not even funny, man. It's just the stuff you see in these photos. It's crazy how they're hiding this stuff, first of all. And like I said, some people, I tell people, listen, if you don't want to believe there's anything hidden in these pictures, don't. That's up to you. That's up to you to believe that. I'm not going to change their minds. I'm not here to do that. But when you just see the blatant, just the obfuscation, you have to ask yourself, what is it that they're hiding and why? I mean, why do that? It's nothing there to see. But yet all of these landers and spacecrafts are all in the, right there at the equatorial region. And it's just below the supposed, nuclear blast that happened. these mid-air explosions, and yet all of these things are just south of all that area. Now, one craft was, or lander was actually higher than that, was right in that area, and yet there you go. So it kind of, you put the pieces together, it makes sense that you're seeing stuff that's been obliterated. These crafts are close to it. It makes perfect sense to me. Absolutely makes perfect sense. And you start putting the pieces together, it's like I said, it's like a giant puzzle. You put it all together, and what do you get? Well, clearly something happened on this planet, and they're obscuring it, and they're sanitizing some of these photos. They're really messing with everything just to mess with your eyes. But if you take a close look at these things, you never know what you're going to find, right? So anyway, guys, we're going to close this out. I'm going to say thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you for all the support, whether it's just talk and saying, Chris, we love your channel. Monetarily, thank you very much. Anybody who's buying the merch, that's awesome that you guys are doing that, because at least you get something in return. It's not just, if you don't feel like, well, I'm giving money, but I'm not really getting anything out of it. There you go. That's another alternative. But either way, I do appreciate you guys 100%. That's awesome that you guys do that. And it helps me, like I said, if this power went out right now during the storms, I would still be on here for another hour. Because my internet's on battery backup, my whole computer system's on battery backup, and it's because of you guys I was able to buy this equipment to do that. So, we stay on the air even though the power goes out. Unless, of course, somebody trailer truck plows over a telephone pole and we get no electricity or internet, then, well, yeah, I'm shut down. But other than that, we'd actually still keep running, man. That's all there is to it. Like I said, I can get up to like an hour's more sitting on this thing if the power went out. So we got all the bases covered for that, so we can still stay on. So it's thanks to you guys, because it's your channel, not just mine. I may have started it, but you guys are the ones that support it, and you guys are the ones that actually help run it, because without you guys, I wouldn't be here. So give yourselves a pat on the back as well. Hope everybody has a great holiday coming up, a great weekend. Again, I'll be working tomorrow, but it'd be all right. Keep the green stamps rolling in, you know what I'm saying? Get that paycheck. Keep them busy. That's the way to do it. But I hope everybody has a great holiday. I really do. And be safe. Again, I don't know about you guys. I'm so over this coronavirus BS crap. And it's sad. But hopefully it gets out. Our state's starting to open up, where they're starting to open up more and more of the stuff, whether it be businesses, malls, whatever. It's awesome that they're starting to do that, get people out of their houses so they don't have cabin fever. And that's what it's really about, right? Is getting the people out of the houses and be able to do things, and that's what it's all about. So everybody be safe. That's pretty much it. Move this over. So anyway, again, thank you everybody for being here. Like I said, watch out for the next video coming out Sunday. And nothing but love for you guys, nothing but respect. You guys are in on this. We share a lot of cool stuff together, and that's what makes this all interesting. So nothing but love for you guys. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. Everybody have yourself a good night, a good weekend, and we'll see you in the next video, right? Okay, guys. Peace. Be safe.